This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hawaii is beautiful, but Tahiti is unforgettable. Take off to paradise from the United States, starting at $750 per person with Air Tahiti Nui. This limited time deal includes round-trip all-inclusive service to Tahiti. Visit airtahitinui.com. That's airtahitinui.com.
Look around. Every car you see is probably on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars. As for flying cars, well, we're ready when they are. If you see a car you like, find it on AutoTrader. That's our kind of thing. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, there's this unspoken truth that the only way to get a guy to voluntarily go to the doctor is if he suspects that there's something wrong with his junk. And that was the case for a man who had, quote, bloody discharge oozing from his penis. That is a quote. Now, doctors initially believed that it was a prostate issue, but no. The problem, you see, there were the maggots crawling inside of his member. Now, in case you're wondering, maggots crawling inside of your skin pickle, that's about an 11-day hospital stay before they give you the clean bill of health. And actually, doctors find insects inside of people's backsides during colonoscopies. They have found flies, ants, roaches, ladybugs, moths, bees, and yellow jackets. All of these things have been found in routine colonoscopies. All right, just let that sink in. It's disturbing, but it is true. Now, we told you earlier this week about a man in China who ruptured an artery in his face because he picked his nose too much. And let's face it, people go to the doctor for all kinds of reasons. Stupid, important, scary, or otherwise. And we've all been to the hospital for one reason or another. And today's question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, quite simply is this. What did the doctor tell you?
To be a part of the Big Show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Pacholas, away we go. Welcome to Season 20, episode number 4,281. What a large and in charge program we have for you today on this oh-so-positive Friday, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC.
Yeah.
What a late night last night was, man. I am feeling it today, that is a fact, but came up with some good ones, just in case we didn't get a listener submitted Ted versus the FCC.
You did great work last night, man.
Well, you know, we didn't have one. Then we came in this morning and we got one from Joe, a listener down in... Yes, down in... Yes.
Not Joe.
Joe, man.
Not Joe. Damn it, Joe.
Yeah, Tacoma Joe.
Tacoma Joe. Yeah.
Were you guys at the Blood Moon Festival?
No, but I saw a little of it last night.
Oh, I thought I saw you guys there.
I was not at the Blood Moon Festival.
Oh, yeah.
They demanded that I go, but I said, look, I can't. We got to work on that.
He went to the Blue Moon Festival.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Either way, Ted versus the
you
FCC.
had oranges on your nipples?
Coming up.
I drink it how I drink it, man.
At 4:35. And we'll get hopefully another one in the win column. I think you've been on a roll. I think this is, you've got 2 in a row, as far as I remember. Yeah. We haven't really updated the tally, but I think you're doing pretty good this year.
Yeah, I might be just 500.
Yeah, it's better than losing, man.
That's right.
It is.
Oh, what else do we have for you? Hopefully we will see you tomorrow up in Stanwood for Stanwood's shortest St. Patty's Day Parade with the Daily Miggs Morning Show. The parade starts at 11. We got an itinerary today. It looks like, on paper, the parade's going to last about 15 minutes to a half an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe at the most, because it is the shortest St. Patty's Day Parade in Stanwood's history.
Because we're going around the block, right?
At the Stanwood Hotel Saloon.
So depending how many people are actually involved in the parade, Basically, like the people up front might catch the people in the back. You know what I'm saying?
There is a lineup. Yes, we'll have to wait for everyone to go through.
It's a tiny street.
Yeah. Stanwood Hotel Saloon. I double-checked again today with Ryan Castle. I said, Ryan, I need to know, is that bar really going to be open at 9? And he said the bar will be open at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right? Bring the friends, bring the kids. I know there's going to be a marching band. We are involved in the parade as well.
That is correct.
We've got a little transportation, courtesy of our friends at Honey Bucket.
Yep, we have our own floater.
We have our own prizes to throw out to the crowd. It's going to be very exciting. Rolls of toilet paper and other accessories. But it's going to be a great time. Hopefully you can stop by. It won't take too much of your day up. But 11 o'clock tomorrow in Stanwood, the Stanwood Hotel Saloon. Join the Daily Mix Show for Stanwood's shortest St. Patty's Day Parade.
Yeah.
That is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And ironically enough, as we drink and toast into the weekend with a shot of the day, and it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
We have a St. Patty's Day inspired Bad Choice Friday today.
Yeah, man.
Who would have thunk it? Tons of great bands. From Ireland. And I'm sure you have a favorite. We have picked two that we believe are probably two of the all-time greatest Irish songs in the history of the country.
Yeah, no doubt.
We start with the Irish Rovers.
Green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn.
Oh, yeah. First time I heard this was this week.
Yeah, me too.
My mom was very excited we were using this song today.
And both of you guys know the song. Like you were singing along with this.
Dearly love this song.
I mean, I could hear the sound of the vacuum as this record is playing. And that's what my mom did. Saturday or Sunday mornings. Like she played this song.
Was it the Irish Rovers? Is there only one version of this?
That's why I put my
like
hand
a standard.
Because there was I remember in school too, we learned like a little dance for it.
Huh. You guys learned this in school too?
I went to Catholic school.
I know. I'm just saying, like this song,
the
this is
Romans
like
were
news
Catholics.
to me. You know,
there's Catholics all over the world.
No, I'm just taken back to childhood when I'm sitting in my car, in my parents' car. We drove them crazy with how many times we listened to
Oh,
it.
so you guys liked it. I liked it, but when you're a kid, right? There's certain songs with your parents you like.
Sure.
Like if my mom put this on, it was like, oh, nice.
Damn
The
right.
unicorn song.
this is why parents should not let their children make the musical decisions in the car.
It was either this or the Bears song, the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Oh, yeah. Jeez,
The Irish Rovers, and the song is called The Unicorn Taking On Kermit the Frog.
It's not easy being green.
There it is.
Traditional Irish.
It
folk
seems
song.
you blend in with so many other ordinary things. And people tend to pass you over because you're not standing out like flashy sparkles in the water.
Who's the voice of Kermit the Frog, Steve?
I believe originally it was Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, yeah.
Now, does he get paid, like from back in the day? Did he get a royalty for singing and writing Being Green from Kermit the Frog?
I'm sure he did, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like the Mickey Mouse of the Sesame Street Muppets world, you know?
Pretty big
he was
hit
the
back in
creator
the
of it all.
Jim Henson, also a Terp, went to Maryland.
Doesn't he have a statue there?
He does.
All right.
Yes. Kermit the Frog, Being Green, taking on the Irish Rovers and the Unicorn. Vote now if you follow us on X at Men's Room Live. One of those two tunes coming up right after we drink a toast with the shot of the day.
People, let's vote for the Rovers.
Oh, no, you kidding me,
we're
man?
Kermit the Frog all the way.
Team Kermit, bro.
Yeah, I know you two are.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard Kermit. You need
Yeah.
to hear the unicorn at least once in your life,
Right,
man.
it's St. Patrick's Day. Kermit just happens to be green.
Because he's a frog.
He's not Irish.
Right.
You don't know. What is he? You don't know if he's Irish. He's never talked about his heritage ever in the history of
Where are
Sesame
frogs
Street
from?
and the Muppets.
Everybody knows he's Lutheran.
Jeez, Whiz.
You know who doesn't talk about how hard it is being green?
Kermit the Frog is Lutheran.
Yes.
Hey, I'm learning something new every day.
Yeah. Good times. Okay. On to our question today. On this Also Positive Friday, we're going to talk to the doctor, and sometimes talking to the doctor is okay. I bought a Dr. Pepper in honor
there you go.
of the question today. We'll start with this case, and this just out. The United States has already experienced more cases of measles in the country in 2.5 months. In 2025 than we did the entire year of 2024.
Cool.
So far this year, more than 300 measles cases have been reported. There were a total of 285 measles cases.
Measles.
What's it so?
Measles.
You have
measles.
This is going to be this way today.
Does she have measles?
It's measles, right? I say that it's a Z, right? Measles.
Yeah, it's just measles. But you made it measles.
Measles.
I like measles. You got measles.
You got measles.
Doctor, I think I got the measles.
The outbreak began in Texas, which now recorded
measles.
259 cases of measles. The outbreak has now spread to 15 states: Alaska, California, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Maryland, New Jersey, New Mexico.
Hey, y'all, I got the measles.
New York City, New York State, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Texas, Vermont, Washington,
Lutheran
Mexico,
ass frog.
and Canada.
I got measles from a Lutheran frog.
So far, 2 people in the United States, a school-age child in Texas and a man in New Mexico, both unvaccinated, have died from being infected with the measles.
By the way, do you know any symptoms of measles?
Isn't that the splotchy stuff? It kind of looks. It doesn't look like either chicken pox or shingles.
So the thing is, I'm like, how would I even know if I have measles? So I looked it up, and the early symptoms, days 7 to 14 after exposure to measles, fever, they say it may be high.
You get a fever.
And you got a fever, you might have measles. Runny nose, cough, sore throat, watery eyes, small white spots inside your mouth. Now that, to me, that's the giveaway, because you can have a fever, runny nose, cough, or sore throat from damn near anything, right? So then a rash. They say a red, blotchy rash that starts on the face and spreads to the rest of the body. The rash may start as small, flat spots and become raised and bumpy. And then that rash lasts for 5 or 6 days.
Okay. All right.
And you might have measles.
Measles. How many times, Steve, did you get? Did you ever get COVID?
No, not that I'm aware.
Never got
Every
COVID.
time I took the test, it came up negative.
Mike, once? One time? Ted?
Twice.
I think I did 2 or 3 times.
Or maybe 3. I still don't know how Thrill didn't get it.
I mean, I kept testing, man.
I know, but after
negative.
July 4th, remember, I came in and was sick as a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days later, finally tested positive. But I mean, I was coughing in here. But like, Mike and Miles had it recently enough. And I'm like, how did he not get that?
Right. My incredible immune system, man. Jack Daniels and Marlboro cigarettes. Nothing wants anything to do with my body's interior. It's like, you are disgusting.
Well, last time I went to the doctor, I was like, hey,
try
man,
me.
After they jabbed me 9 million times with those vaccinations, I said, hey, why can't I smell anything? And he's like, well, and honest to God, and I'm not kidding, there's 2 or 3 things that will cut through my nose that I can smell.
You did not smell that fart in the lobby today, which I find unbelievable.
But I can smell your farts.
They're different, man.
And which is unfortunate.
They are crippling.
I can smell that for sure. There's maybe a couple of, like when I'm cutting into a cucumber, I can smell that. But for the most part,
you can smell a cucumber?
I can smell a cucumber.
Like a cucumber is one of the, like, cucumbers smell fine, but I feel like a cucumber is something I have to get up close to smell. You know what I mean?
I'll cut a cucumber, I can smell right away.
What about, like, the cut onions?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
There's a couple things, they just need to be pungent or crisp enough where I can smell them. Otherwise, I can't smell anything. So I asked my doctor, I was like, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, well, how many times have you had COVID? I said, well, I think 2 or 3. And he's like, look, man, he's like, it's either going to come back over time or basically what it is now, it's always going to be this way.
Does it bother you that you can't smell things? Like, is there anything you miss?
Well, it's 90% of my face. You think that it should be functional.
Yeah.
You know, so smell affects taste.
Yeah. So I'm saying, are you
that's the
eating
problem.
foods that you wouldn't have eaten before?
I think I overspice stuff now.
Oh, okay. So
In
you're
other
going to
words,
have your hand with the spice.
Just to get it to cut through to where I've got some flavor.
And you think you could eat liver now?
Oh, man, I think I'd probably be able to smell it, and I just don't like the taste of it. But honestly, God, when I go out, you know, I mean, restaurants tend to not go heavy-handed on spices because, you know, they're not trying to, a lot of people don't like that. And so many times I go out and I'm like, this food is so bland. And I'm wondering, is it really bland, or is it the fact that I just can't smell and taste anything? So I need to have more seasoning in there to get what I need.
So when you got jabbed for your trip to Africa, right? Because they're jabbing you for stuff that just does not happen here.
Typhoid.
So what are some of the ones that you got? You said like dengue.
I got Hep A,
dengue,
Hep A, and Hep B.
All right. Well, that's possible.
One of those 2 were I had to go back for another one. I got the typhoid.
All right.
I got the yellow fever.
Yellow fever.
I got malaria pills. I got jabbed.
Why is malaria pill? Like everything else, you get jabbed, right? Then when it's malaria, they give you pills.
I don't know.
Because you got to take a bunch of them over a certain amount of time.
For like a week before you go, or 2 days before you go.
Damn, okay.
And then you got to keep taking them 10 days after you get back. And I'll tell you what, man.
Did you take them while you were there as well?
Yes. Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
And that's just basically, you just don't want to get bitten by a mosquito.
And you're going to be bitten by a mosquito.
And you're going to be, I mean, they're everywhere. So, that was the thing. Like, you're looking at all these dangerous animals and the thing buzzing around your neck.
That's the one that'll kill you.
That's the one that's probably going to kill you. Mm-hmm. So I was very strict on taking that medication. But, man, the dreams that you have on that medication are like nothing I've ever had in my life.
The malaria medication?
They are crazy vivid. And they are just, your dreams and what they typically are.
Yeah.
This is nothing like anything that you've ever dreamt before. So whatever your normal dream patterns are.
So, are the dreams weird or are they just more vivid?
Both. So typically,
I get that if I take NyQuil.
You know what? I agree with you on that.
But it's all night. So, Ted, sometimes maybe I'll dream more clear in the morning after I initially get up and look at the clock and go, 4:30, cool. I got a couple more hours. I'll go back to sleep at that point in time. Then my dream typically is more vivid.
Yeah.
This was all night long. Just
all night long.
Bizarre.
All night.
Crazy crap.
All night.
That I've never experienced any.
Was it of mosquitoes biting you?
No, it was just absolutely bizarre. But yeah, I think by the time I got all the jabs, I think there were 6.
And how long are those jabs good for? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to go back this summer, would you have to go through all of that? I know the malaria, but would you have to get all these shots again, or are they good for a couple of years?
You don't understand. Like, some things, like polio, right?
Yeah.
So there's an updated version of that, and you need to get that if you go to Africa. So basically,
do they have advanced polio?
When they punched you in the shoulder,
back in the day,
first grade or whatever, before you went to school, I had to get a booster shot from that. That's supposed to be a lifetime shot. It was every time I thought
supposed to be. That doesn't bring me comfort.
Supposed to be, unless you go to Africa.
Correct.
Oh, you're going to Africa? Okay.
You need another one.
Oh, that stuff that we said about it lasted a lifetime. We didn't mean that.
And since you're here, you might as well get a flu shot and another COVID booster. And by the time it was all said and done, man, it was just like every day I come into work and my arms were sore. At least one or
But
two.
you have a winter jacket. But if you were going to go to, say, like the North Pole, they'd be like, you need a bigger jacket.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so same thing. It's like, you're good on measles. Oh, you're going to, like, Africa.
First of all, it's measles. And
Measles.
you're going
Like
the African polio. Yeah, we don't mess with that, man.
Well, if you look at the spelling of weasel.
A weasel? A weasel?
Weasel, yeah.
So measles?
Lethal.
Can a weasel get measles?
Isn't it a weasel, not a weasel?
Everyone says weasel.
Yeah, but I mean,
It might be a weasel, but nobody says a weasel. Even if you're right and it's weasel, like go to the bar and be like, oh, man, you ever had a pet weasel?
No, look, trust me.
You get punched in the face.
There's plenty of words in the English language where people use the S as a Z.
Yeah, we do it a lot.
I mean,
so even if it's proper to say weasel, I just feel like, man,
Mike,
do it at your own peril.
You say Tesla instead of Tesla.
I do. It's Tesla.
Right? It's not. It's Tesla.
That's Tesla.
Tesla. Not Tez.
No, I'm not saying Tez. I'm saying Tesla.
Is this like pecan?
Yeah, pecan. No, it's like weasel.
Are you insisting that it's weasel, not weasel?
Yes.
I'm going to Google this. Pronunciation
weasel.
Weasel?
Of weasel.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that this is
measles.
This is measles.
Weasels.
Sounds funnier. A man needed serious
That's how you give people the bad news. Well, you have measles. It is, in fact, weasel.
It's weasel?
W-E-E-Z-L. That's what they're saying.
Well, I'd put a Z in there then.
Look, I agree. I don't know why we make our language so difficult to spell, but it is, in fact, a weasel. It is not a weasel.
Okay. So am I good for saying Tesla now?
You can say Tesla then.
All right, Tesla.
Hold on. Let's see what it says here.
Tesla.
Tesla. Yeah.
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla.
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 Okay.
And weasel.
A man needed serious emergency surgery after he severed his facial artery while picking his nose. One of his intense nose-picking sessions ended abruptly when he poked a little too deep. His wife claimed he'd always loved picking his nose, whether he was standing, sitting down, laying in bed. God. The unnamed nose-picking aficionado from China, he was in the middle of the activity when it turned into a bloody disaster. His finger triggered a serious nosebleed that cannot be stopped. They were forced to go to the hospital. Medics said he had ruptured his artery. They needed to perform an emergency surgery to repair it. And at that point, the man's wife decided to film his hospital stay and posted the whole process for the world to see. In her video, she repeatedly asked him, while he's recovering, honey, why don't you pick your nose? Get up. Go ahead. Pick it again. They say in some extreme cases, the finger can reach beyond the front part of the nose, known as the little area.
What is he, E.T. or something? Good
and
God.
Into the further...
It's Arsenio Hall up there.
That's my next thought. Yeah.
Yes. Repeated and aggressive picking can damage the nasal tissue. He needed to have surgery, emergency surgery, to repair the artery that he slashed inside his nose. So our question on this positive Friday, what did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework. Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire a whole team of yous.
Try posting a job on LinkedIn. It's the world's largest professional network. Unlike resumes, LinkedIn gives a real-time view into a candidate's skills, experiences, and more.
Huh, let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Find your perfect match with LinkedIn. Post your free job at linkedin.com/message. That's linkedin.com/message. Terms and conditions apply.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Our question, what did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Positive Friday.
Positive Friday.
So, I've got something to say after my story. Is that okay?
Well, you can say it now.
You can say it now.
I mean, over with.
Okay. This is for all the guys. If you feel anything wrong with your boys down there, go see a doctor. It may be something not bad, or it could be testicular cancer. So, I had seen 3 doctors. My primary care, he checked me out, referred me to ultrasound doctors, saw them, got imaging done. They sent me to a urologist, and I went and saw the urologist October 21st of 2024. And he said, you possibly have testicular cancer by the size, how big your left testicle is. And it was about the size of my palm.
Wow. And I'm assuming that's why you went to the doctor in the first place, right?
Well, I was forced into it by my fiance and my mom and grandma because she told my mom and grandma. But
wait.
Oh, so, you didn't go to the doctor when your left testicle was as big as your hand?
Public service announcement to all the guys out there. If your testicle ever gets bigger than your hand, go to the doctor.
Unless you have really tiny hands.
Not that I needed to say that.
Well, as an adult, you're not going to hit a testicle growth spurt either.
So,
yeah.
So they had to convince you to go to the doctor because you're noticing this, but you didn't think it was any big deal.
Right. So I went all through the steps, and I talked to the urologist, and he goes, if it was up to me, you would be in the operating room tonight, being that Monday that I went and saw him. And so he set my surgery for Wednesday, October 23rd.
And was it cancerous?
It was.
Okay.
As of right now, I am cancer-free in the eyes of my urologist, radiologist, and oncologist. So
what are the odds of it coming back?
Not a whole lot.
Really?
Because there's two different types of testicular cancer. There's seminoma cancer, which, from what he explained, that branches out, and they got to try and follow it to the lymph nodes and wherever else it goes from the testicle. And then non-seminoma, it just basically stays in the testicle, which is what I believe I had.
Did they remove it?
Yes.
They removed your testicle, or they removed the mass?
They removed the whole testicle, was just a mass, along with the spermatic cords and I think something else as well, just to make sure that they got it all.
Well, like when you go to the grocery store, the more stuff you get, the bigger of a bag they give you. And now you have a big bag with like one item in it.
Yeah, do they adjust the size of the package?
Correct. They change the size of your shopping bag.
No, but to me, I've just joked, now it looks like a turkey neck on one side.
All right.
What does your fiance think of this? I mean, obviously she's happy that they got the cancerous tumor removed, but then the flip side is she's looking at your testicles, and when you describe it as looking like a turkey neck, I mean, I've never seen that thumb tab on a porn site. You know what I mean?
Turkey neck.
Yeah.
She's glad that I got the procedure done, and because who knows how bad this could have gotten if I had just ignored it.
How long did it take them to convince you to finally go to see a doctor?
So they told me that I need to go see a doctor back in August, and then I went through the rest of August, September, and then before our family trip to Florida in October, I had started going to see the doctors.
What? Okay. What do you get chemotherapy, or is it just removed?
It's just removed, and right now I am doing observation. So every 4 to 6 months, I will go in and have a CT scan done.
Okay.
And they're checking my lymph nodes because they noticed that 2 of my lymph nodes were slightly enlarged, but not enough to be concerned about.
And is it so? How long had you noticed that your testicles were getting bigger?
I think it was June, July.
Okay.
And you were just thinking, what, it would go away?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey, man.
Are you still sexually active?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well,
that's turkey neck and all.
Yeah.
Now think about this. So I don't know about you, but me, if I notice my testicles are getting bigger kind of day to day, week to week, I'm at the doctor. There's no questions asked.
Yeah.
This guy had to be convinced by fiance, mother, grandmother, cousins, everyone else. Now, Ted, you went to the doctor, wasn't it like an ingrown hair on the thigh?
No. It was like right above. So
right
like,
above.
Right? It's like right there.
All right. But just,
there was just a bump. I couldn't figure out what it was. So, yeah, I went to the clinic like 2 days later.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was something really bad.
That's what I'm saying. You have the response I think most guys would have. Even if it's a hair bump.
What is this?
You're like, cool, tell me what this is. And hair bump.
I'm pretty sure I have a serious rotator cuff injury. Mm-hmm. Right? And it hurt. Sometimes I wake up in excruciating pain.
You going to go to the doctor?
I haven't asked my doctor about it yet. Talked about a bunch of other stuff. I'm just like,
how do you think you know when
but
you
get a hair bump on your testicle? It's like, hey.
Right there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like most guys, like hair bump on the testicle, going to the doctor.
But the
torn
hair
rotator cuff.
Yeah, rotator cuff hurting.
It's kind of weird that you would do it on your non-dominant shoulder, though. Typically I would think if you're throwing a ball or something, maybe it would rip, or I don't know, maybe you fall, and
I don't know. I just know sometimes
coming on.
I wake up and I'm just like, I can't sleep on my left side.
Well, my wife, every once in a while, I'll complain about something, and she'll say, hey, she'll go see a doctor. I'm like, nah. I mean, it's not my junk. Mm-hmm. You, for whatever reason, as a dude, you're like, we'll worry. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Like the second time I had COVID, it was really bad.
Yeah.
And I tell this story all the time. This is how, it's so stupid. But I woke up, dripping sweat. I did not feel right. Like this pain in my chest. And my temperature was 102. I was like, oh, God, I might have to call the doctor or an ambulance. I didn't.
No, just let it out.
But a hair bump, Doc, what is this?
Granted, I had a concussion and I'm bleeding from the head. But even then, right? I call you and ask for Band-Aids, Neosporin, and Advil.
Yeah.
Right?
You'd have taken a groin shot. You'd have been on the phone right away.
Yeah. God, that was so painful, too. Now, I will say, I was stunned enough. Thurl gives credit. He's like, you need to go to the doctor. I was like, all right. Or you need to go to the emergency room.
Okay.
And then the worst, I mean, besides getting needles in your head, that really sucks. Getting the staples didn't hurt. It was numb. But that hematoma, man, I just couldn't lay flat for the CAT scan. And this brought in this yoked up brother. And he was like, I got to push you. And I was like, I know. I go, it's just so painful. Every strength I have in my core is just going to fight you.
Yeah.
So he's like pushing me and I'm screaming. He's like, sorry. And I'm like, ah.
You know that's his one job. Oh, get the big brother.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Right. Well, that guy probably went to like school and everything. He's like, I push people down.
He's probably like, normally I'm the janitor, man, but in your case.
I mean, I don't know if it's true. My mom claims with my sister it took so long that they had somebody lay on her. That's what she claims.
What are the odds of that being true, do you think?
If it was my dad, 0. But because it's my mother, I tend to believe it. But I don't know. That was the late 70s. Maybe they did things different.
Maybe. Who knows? Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going?
Hola.
So, kind of like somebody was pointing out that they can't smell.
Yeah, Miles.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, Miles. I feel you. I've had 7 sinus surgeries and 1 deviated septum surgery. And on my 5th sinus surgery, the doctor gave me a whole bunch of antibiotics and steroids. I think it was 21 days of steroids and 53 days of antibiotics.
Jesus.
And, so everything seemed fine. I went in and I saw the allergist like a month later. And he goes, hey, did the doctor tell you about anything? And I said, not that I recall. And he goes, well, excuse me for a second. He comes back in with his phone. And he goes, I got to look this thing up. It's a long word. I don't know how to explain it. And so anyway, he looked it up. It took him a couple seconds. And he goes, so she didn't tell you had a fungus in your left nostril that they had to remove? And I was like, no. And he goes, well, let me look this up on the internet. So he goes looking it up on the internet, and he says it's more commonly found in Asia. And it was one of the 10 top deadliest funguses to have.
Wow.
Jesus. If you had an autoimmune system disorder.
How do you think
you got
your body creates it, or you caught it?
I caught it somehow, and I have no idea how I got it. I didn't travel outside of the United States. Nowhere.
You would be amazed on that deviated septum surgery how big the plastic plates are when they come out of your nostril.
Yeah.
I was like
that.
I was like that. Those two things were up in my head. Are you kidding me? Now, did they run tubes above your eyebrows?
No. So the deviated septum was the very first surgery I had, and I think I had it in like 2005. It was to control a sleep apnea disorder.
Yeah.
But so I had there was blood going down my throat, and I had ended up opening my mouth and leaning forward. So my wife drove to the hospital, and I had lost, no kidding, 1 pint of blood. And the doctors were like, you don't want the glass back. We can throw this out, right? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So I actually saw that tongue depressor type disc that they put in your nose, because I was like, there's no way that's going in my nostril. And he called 2 guys to come in and hold me down just to put that. And he used the palm of his fist to put it in my nose. And I felt a slight snap in my head. And I just started cussing. It was crazy.
Yeah, mine were put in during the surgery, and then I did not realize what was in there until they pulled them out. I was asking for the tubes from the sinus standpoint, sometimes because your sinuses run over the top of your eyes.
Right.
And if those areas get clogged, what they will do is they'll put a little plastic hose that helps drain that stuff, down into your nose. And my uncle had it, and he said, you've never smelled anything as bad as whatever that is that's
in your face.
That infection is coming out of your head.
So what prompted all of these sinus surgeries in the first place? Was this all related to the fungus? Like, why did they schedule the first surgery?
No, I had chemical exposure. And the doctors didn't know if it was chemical related. And So I just kept working the same job, doing the same thing. And finally, the last surgery, the doctor was like, look, you got to find a different job. And so, yeah, went that route.
What were you doing before?
I'd rather not say. My boss just texted me. So.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wow.
Hi, Hank.
Yeah, right.
What's up, Hank?
Hey, Hank, what's shaking, brother? He got fungus in his nose, Hank.
Well, loss of sense of smell is a big deal, right? Like,
of course.
Like, I didn't realize it, but, like, my mom's in, like, unfortunately, like, early stages of Alzheimer's.
Oh, no, man.
So, like, that's one of the things is she lost her sense of smell.
Is it connected to Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
Really?
So the doctor was like, you guys should put her, like, in a place where there's people. We were like, oh, we already did. And he was like, well, good. Because he was like, if there's a fire in the other room, like, she wouldn't smell it.
Right. Did she lost weight from that? Because I tend to eat less.
Yeah, she eats like a bird now. It's crazy.
Okay, all right. Because
I was telling Mike, it's kind of nice, though. Sometimes she likes to buy me a nice lunch at, like, a crab house.
Yeah.
So I encourage her to order what I would like to eat later.
Oh, so you're married.
Damn, taking advantage of it already, man.
It's like having a wife.
It's fine. I mean, it'll get worse, unfortunately. Right now, I was telling Mike, it's fine. Like, her short-term memory just sucks.
Right.
So you just got to repeat stuff. But she's also there. So she knows, and when you tell old stories, she remembers some stuff. Right. You just got to kind of jog the memory.
It's funny. My mother's convinced that my father's hearing is going, right? And so this has been for like the last 5 years. And she's like, I'll be talking to him. And he's just like, wait, what? I didn't hear what you said. So we went to visit him in New Mexico. He heard me fine. And so I told my mother, I think he's tuning you out, man. You've been married for 60-some years. I think he has tuned your ass out. He hears me fine. He hears his daughter-in-law fine. He hears the kids fine. The only person he can't hear, it seems, is you. But sure enough, when we were there, right, we're all sitting around, we're playing, left, right, center.
Oh, yeah,
right,
great game.
Kids are having fun playing left, right, center. And my mother was sitting next to my dad, and she would say something. And he's like, what? I'm sitting across the table. I swear, it didn't matter what I said. Oh, yeah, it's in the refrigerator. And I'm just like, Mom, I'm telling you, man, he does not hear your voice anymore.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jess. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, just real quick, before I let you know about what the doctor said, Ted, I just wanted to say my heart goes out to you because my family, we lost my grandma to final stage Alzheimer's last year, and it's hard to watch, but it sounds like you said your mom?
Yeah, like I said, it's very, very early stages, and she's 80.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to send you, hugs from across. But anyways, I digress. No, it's hard, though, to watch a loved one. Anyways, fun fact, I was discharged from the hospital this morning. So we went to Vegas on Friday last week, and we got back Monday, and I've always had gastritis, but for some reason, this felt way, way worse.
Gastritis?
Gastritis.
Which is what?
Gastritis. So it's like an imbalance with your H. pylori. I'm not a doctor. I can't pronounce it very well. But
what are the effects?
It's like a buildup of acid that there's a few different types of it. So this particularly affected my esophagus, and I was having what I thought was really bad heartburn. And it got to the point where, the night we got home, had, just a relaxing night. I had dinner, no big deal, and I woke up at like 6 in the morning, and this was on Tuesday morning, or Monday or Tuesday, times up between daylight savings and the time zone and the jet lag. So I had this horrible feeling, and I made it to the bathroom just enough time to throw up what looked like dark chocolate pudding, and I was like, and then I felt better. But I was like, wait, I didn't eat anything weird, and then I had these horrible stomach cramps again, and you know how they say, like, never trust a fart? Well, this was one of those moments. So I ran to the bathroom. Thank goodness I did. And again, I was just like, okay, something's not right. I was having these horrible stomach cramps. So my fiance got home from work, and he took me to urgent care, and they're like, yeah, you need to get seen, like, right now. So I got admitted. It turns out I had 2 ulcers in my part of my esophagus. I've never had an endoscopy or whatever it's called. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like super terrified. It's not the one that they put up your bum, the one they put down your throat.
It's a camera down your throat.
Yeah, it's not a in your endo. It's a down your
different shoot there.
But they use the same camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same instrument.
So cute. Oh my goodness. Like it was, and they had me like pumped full of all kinds of fun stuff. And I literally got discharged. So like, I think I told you guys, we moved to Salt Lake City. So we're on a different time zone, only by like some change, but got discharged. And I'm just like, okay. And they're like, oh, and by the way, you can't eat anything. That's what the doctor told me. You can't eat anything for like the next 48 hours. So liquid diet, I can have chicken broth.
I was going to say, go get bone broth.
Yeah, bone broth's even better,
Bone
man.
broth is the way to go, because if you've ever gotten a colonoscopy, which you will eventually,
Thank you for that.
that's well, you should.
Seriously,
that's a lifesaver. I've never felt good coming back from Vegas. I would never even go to the doctor because I'd be thinking just to myself,
it's Vegas.
This is Vegas. This is what Vegas does to me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel terrible for at least 2 days after I get back. I would never think that anything was wrong with me other than what I had done to myself.
And I know what I've done to myself. I know exactly what I've done, and I feel exactly the way I should when I leave that. You're right.
Yeah,
I would not think to see the doctor.
If something was legitimately wrong with me, I would not go to the hospital thinking, let me just get rid of this Vegas thing, and then I'll see how I feel after that. Because sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe I'm walking around right now. I feel absolutely awful, and it's always consistent. It's never
or every time.
It's never any different.
Well, I always say that. I mean, there's nobody more excited than people getting off that flight at McCarran.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I know that gate. I sit at Alaska every time. It is so quiet on the ride.
Deadly quiet.
Yeah.
Right? Like people are
sweaty and quiet.
Even the airline attendants aren't happy.
Right.
And they weren't even there, For whatever reason, it's a difference between flying in and flying out. They're doing the same damn route.
Yeah, when I flew back from that race, there's a couple next to me, and the wife's trying to talk, and the husband's just like, honey, please. I feel awful. And then this other guy comes over, and it's like, we'll call him Tim. Like, Tim. And he's like, God damn it. And looks up, and he's like, oh, hey. And they're like, yeah, we're just here on a layover. He's like, I feel like garbage. I was up gambling. I've been drinking. And he ran down what he drank, and even I was like, attaboy.
Damn. All right. What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power.
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hawaii is beautiful, but Tahiti is unforgettable. Escape to a paradise without the crowds and enjoy all-inclusive round-trip flights from the United States to Tahiti starting at $750 per person on Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. From the vibrant cabins to the warm and welcoming crew, you will be transported to the islands of Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your perfect getaway is just 2 drinks and a movie past Hawaii. Visit airtahitinui.com, that's airtahitinui.com, to book your dream vacation.
Look around. What do you see? Cars, lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends, did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars and used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions of options to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it. AutoTrader.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast in the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Jam on. And today on Bad Choice Friday, we celebrate St. Patty's Day and Stanwood's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade tomorrow at 11 in Stanwood with a couple of Irish tunes. So why not the Irish Rovers?
Grease alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn.
Ted, what is a rover? Is it a singer? Is it some
Irish Rovers?
Yeah. I'm just wondering. The Irish Rovers.
They rove around.
I mean, all the Rovers I ever knew were like in the 1970s. It was a typical dog name.
That's what I mean. What are rovers? Are they like
They're people that rove around. They go all around the island playing music.
What do you mean you rove around?
What is roving?
Like, can
around?
you rove?
Roving.
Have you ever roven?
I rove.
You rove?
Where did you rove to?
All across this land.
Oh.
Some people call me a rover.
A rover.
Yeah.
The Irish Rovers and the Unicorn taking on Kermit the Frog on a Bad Choice Friday.
It's not easy being green. It seems you blend in with so many others.
You roll your eyes at Kermit.
Yeah. Song's depressing.
Are you green? Well, you weren't green, but otherwise, you're not green, man. This is a him problem.
I'm not green. I'm not the Hulk.
Yeah. Who else is green? Jolly Green Giant?
Wonder why the Hulk isn't more prominent during St. Patty's Day. You'd think he would be.
This would be his time.
Yeah.
It seems like if you're a bodybuilder and you're massive, you should paint yourself green and go out this weekend.
Absolutely, man. For some reason, St. Patty's Day Hulk, I think, would be popular.
Irish Rovers and the Unicorn taking on Kermit the Frog. Being green, vote now if you follow us on X.
Just don't let
Men's Room
Hulk,
Live.
just don't let Hulk next to your girl, because we all know Hulk smash.
What do you think Hulk meant?
Our question, what did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hulk want that booty.
Hulk I'm surprised McDonald's didn't send us in some Shamrock shakes. They normally do that.
Come on now, McDonald's.
Hey,
Where are
didn't
you,
they do it last
McDonald's? I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, get your,
You would drink one anyhow.
I'll take the fries and the hamburgers will bring too.
And chicken nuggets.
Yeah, come on.
Hello, Rebecca. Welcome to the Men's Room.
We're hungry.
You're just ordering food.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Hola.
Hola, French.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, a Positive Friday.
That's why we've heard about testicular cancer.
Jesus. It's nutty. Yeah, okay. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so I was working at Ford, and some of the wash boys found a bunch of kittens behind the shipping containers where we keep a bunch of parts. But we also have a rat problem back there. So we had rat poison and traps and all this. And these kittens were like wobbly on their feet. They're brand new, not even weanable yet.
Is Mama Cat anywhere to be seen?
Not at all. She had been looking. I had been working on cars, and I just brought back a customer car, was bringing in a new one, when I noticed one of them was holding this teeny tiny kitten, and I love cats. So, of course, I come over and see.
They are delicious. I'm right there with you.
You monster. So I go over and I take a look, and they're on the sledge right behind where we keep all the shipping containers. So they're starting to wander or wobble off. I'm like, okay, we've got to pincer these guys, otherwise we're not going to be able to get them. So I decided to go around the shipping containers, which are right up against a little rock wall. And there's room behind them for me to shimmy behind and grab them. At least that's what I thought. I get to a point where I'm just like, okay, there's no room. I've got to turn back. And as I'm turning, I start to slip. So I try to change it into a jump so I would land better. Did not work. I landed 3 feet in the air, landed wrong, and tore my ACL completely in half.
Trying to rescue kittens. Those cats set you up, man.
How long's what's the recovery on that?
Several years. It's been a year and a half, and I still have no feeling on the left side of my knee.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you still love cats, even though they set you up?
My some of my friends that I'm my old coworkers I'm still friends with like to say that I injured myself chasing. Well, not kittens.
Right. Yeah.
We've all done that.
So you haven't gone back to work yet?
Oh no, I don't work for Ford anymore. I work at Les Schwab now. I do brakes and alignments.
Yeah. All right.
Fewer kittens. Do you get any kind of workers' compensation for that, or is it like you were, even though you were at the job, you weren't technically doing your job when you're going for the kittens?
No, I did not get any workers' comp, and what I did had nothing to do with my job.
Right.
I just happened to be on the property while I was clocked on, but because it had zero to do with my work, I didn't get any workers' comp, but I was able to get Washington's medical leave, and that helped a lot.
Okay, whatever happened to these kittens?
So that was actually what I called my boss the next day. I was like, how are the kittens? Didn't ask me anything else. Apparently one of the coworkers called their mom down the street, was one of the kids, and she came over and collected them and took them to a no-kill shelter to be rehomed.
Okay, very cool.
That's the story they're telling you. I'm telling you, it's much worse than that. Yeah.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
See right there? That's why I don't try to help kittens. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hola.
So, this is about a year ago. It's actually at the end of February last year. I was out splitting firewood. I heat my house with a wood stove, so I'm just splitting some firewood to go bring in the house to throw in the wood stove. And the handle, I usually, because I split so much firewood, I'm a big guy, I swing it one-handed all the time. It's an 8-pound splitting maul, but I swing it one-handed. And the handle nicked against something as I was swinging, which turned it just barely, which meant that instead of going straight through the firewood, it bounced off, and the back of it came down, smashed down on my middle finger of the other hand.
Oh.
And basically exploded the top of the finger.
Ooh. Ah. Okay.
Do you have no fingertip?
No, it was still attached. Bone sticking out and stuff, but it was still attached. I actually, when it hit, I just put my hand down because it hurt so bad. I couldn't even look at it. And finally, after about 10 breaths or so, I looked down and I went, oh, yeah, I need to go to the doctor.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what is that pain?
They actually asked me that at the emergency room, and my answer was, I'm going to put it at a 9 because I imagine there probably is worse pain than this, but I've never experienced it.
All right. Okay. All right. Did you buy a wood splitter, a gas splitter?
Funny thing is, I did actually about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, good. That's going to save you a lot of pain, man. I mean, seriously, when you're going after a lot of wood, man, those things are golden.
I do. I go through about 4 cords of firewood a year, and I actually just about a week ago picked up probably 2 cords of rounds that I need to split still.
Yeah.
But I get into the ER They stitch it back together, and I'm staring at the stitch job, and I went, wait, is that the bone still sticking out? After he stitched it back together, and the guy's like, well, yeah, I couldn't get it back in.
So what do you do if the bone is still sticking out of your finger?
Well, that was my question, and so the answer was, well, tomorrow you're going to go see a surgeon anyways. So that means it's okay? Okay, sure. So I go to the surgeon the next day. He takes one look at it, x-rays it, and takes one look at it and goes, you know, if your ER doctor had just bent it this way, pulled it up this way, and just put it back in, we wouldn't be having surgery. But now tomorrow you're having surgery.
So how much extra money did that cost you as a result of that?
Out of pocket, probably another $2 or $3 grand. To my insurance, probably another $30,000.
So all the money you saved on your heating bill just went out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Did your finger heal normally, or could I look at your hand and know that something traumatic had happened?
Oh, you know something traumatic happened to it. The weirdest part about it is that the fingernail, because of where it broke right at the cuticle. And so part of the surgery was actually trying to put the cuticle back together. It was not 100% successful. It turns out it's about 70% successful. The problem is that it's about 40% on one side and about 20% on the other side. So the nail grows in two different sections, and I have a gap in between.
Ah, all right. So you got like two nails in one.
Yeah, I got two partial nails on the same finger. And
They grow at a different rate.
You know, no.
Have you thought about letting them grow long? You know what I mean? Just so you have like these two nails coming off of one finger?
I tried. Actually, I tried about a month ago. The little one, I can't do it. It catches on everything. I have to keep that thing. I'm filing that thing, no joke, like every other day.
All right. Yeah, and don't use that nail as a Coke nail either, because all the Coke will fall through the crack.
That was my thought.
Pieces.
I was going to say the same thing.
You do a different hand.
The bigger one, I tried letting it grow out, and then just actually about 3 or 4 days ago, I caught it on something and just ripped it halfway. I was like, okay, never mind. We're not doing this anymore.
That's probably the right call, man.
Yep. What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Marilyn. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
So I wanted to say happy anniversary. I started listening to KSW when I moved here in '89 with Bob.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And enjoying the Twisted Tunes that I can actually sing all of them. So.
Nice. That's very cool.
So way back when, my husband and I had returned from a road trip to Arizona with our 7-week-old baby. And I was feeding her one morning, and my husband, who usually goes to work pretty early, came out and said, I don't feel good. I think I'm going to go back to bed. And I looked at him, and it was about 5 in the morning, and said, I think you need to go to the doctor. He's like, no, I'm fine. I think I just caught something.
Why do you think?
So he goes
why did you think he needed to go to the doctor if all he said is, I just don't feel good?
He looks like crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's normal.
Well, not so. As soon as our doctor's office opened, I called and made him an appointment, and then he stumbled out a little while later and said, I think I better go to the doctor. So I got him, me, and our newborn dressed and in the car. We were at the emergency room in like 10 minutes. Took him in. We were in the emergency room for more than 8 hours. They did like every test known to man.
Wow.
And they kept punching him in the back saying, are you sure it doesn't hurt here? They thought he was having kidney stones. And then they were like, then they thought he'd had a heart attack. He was 33 and sent a blood clot to his colon and killed his colon because his father had had a heart transplant at 59. So, heart disease. After being in the emergency room for hours, they finally decided they were going to do emergency exploratory surgery. So at 9:00 on a Friday, they go in and cut him open from breastbone to pubic bone and go and look at all of his organs visually.
Wow.
Send a camera up to look at his heart and discovered his intestine had collapsed behind his stomach. And also his heart is on the other side of his body.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did he never know that his heart was on the opposite side than most people?
No, he never knew. We called his mother after he got out of the hospital. He was in the hospital for over a week. And she's like, what are you talking about? We're like, yeah, his heart is on the other side of his body. It's got a name. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does that happen? Or how often does that happen? Like, what's the percentage of people?
I don't really probably know it is not unheard of. In fact, there was an ER episode years ago about somebody that would have died being stabbed by a fork, except their heart was on the other side of the body.
Florida.
All right.
A fork?
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, that was...
How's he doing now?
Well, he has 2 belly buttons now because they went straight through his belly button. But it's been 27 years.
Okay, look.
Ended up with some...
Marilyn, I'm sure you love your husband. Let's be honest for a second. How long did it take for you to get used to looking at a 2 belly button husband?
It actually just kind of makes me giggle even to this day.
You should have him get him pierced, right? And then do one of those chain wallet things in between that kind of just hang, like a little swing.
Are they side by side or one above the other?
Side by side. They cut right straight.
Yeah.
So it looks like stomach nostrils.
Yeah, you should definitely get those pierced. He should get those pierced.
That is...
Oh, my God. He's the biggest pain, baby. There's no way.
Okay. Right.
Does he mind taking his shirt off?
He doesn't take it off so much anymore.
Yeah, think if I had
used
2
to,
belly
but-
buttons, I just don't feel like they... I think if I took my shirt off like at the beach or the pool, I'd be like, just ask your questions, everybody. Before you start staring at me, just ask the question.
That's a love
The
that.
bigger deal is he's got a big old scar down the middle of his...
Yeah, they cut him.
Down the... So, because they didn't go in like they do for C-sections and just spread him open. They just cut him straight down the middle.
Yep, and those don't heal well, especially if they're breaking
It's
your
bright
chest,
red.
breaking chest plates and everything else. To take a look at that, that's
dextrocardia.
That's what, your heart's on the other side?
Yeah.
Did it say what percentage of people have this?
It doesn't.
You think it was just a basic stethoscope checkup that would be something that could be detected, right?
I mean, stethoscopes. But the thing is with the stethoscope, even if your heart's on the other side,
You're still getting an
they're still going to
amplification.
hear it.
Right.
But I would think,
You would
it's
move it around to get a
You have a
better-
really weak heartbeat. Then you kind of slide it across. I just feel like at some point you would have known. So here's my question, all right? So everyone says, please rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance or put your hand over your heart. Does he get the pass?
He just
put his hand on the other
uses
side.
his other hand.
So I'm saying, 'cause people look at him like, what are you doing? I'm like, look, man, my heart's on the opposite side of my body. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
No, it's not that I don't like you. It's that my heart's on the other side of my body, so it's hard for me to love.
It changes
So
everything.
we're going to have to break up.
Why are you holding your groin? My heart's in my penis.
That'd be a weird one, too, as a doctor.
What's that?
I don't know. You look at an x-ray, it's like, oh!
Like, Jesus!
Dude, you know your heart's on the wrong side?
Well, I told you, man, when I had a thing on my ass, right? And so I got this thing on my ass. I can't see it because
effed
it's
up.
on my ass. So
It's about time for that thing to come back, isn't it?
So far, so good, man. But I go to the doctor, and it's already humiliating enough, all right? So it's the doctor's assistant first. It's this dude, he's like, all right, man, just bend over the table, drop your pants. So, if you're ever going to get sodomized, this is the moment, right? So I'm doing that, and he's like, okay, let me get the doctor, which already doesn't feel good. So then the doctor walks in. Oh, hello, Mr. Hill. Oh! That was his response. And I'm like, dude, really? Actually, it was yikes. That's what yikes. I'm like, really, man?
What did the doctor tell you?
You can't keep that to yourself. Yikes. That was his response. They gave me, what do you call it? Antibodies or whatever the hell. And it went away. But that was his response was, yikes.
So from sledding, I had that other hematoma that was growing off my hip.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that looked like a football. And I remember being in the emergency room and somebody came in and, one of the other doctors. And I'm like, I'm just laying there on my side, right? And it's kind of like, I think my pain, and you could just see it.
Yeah.
I go, oh, are you my doctor? And he goes, no. I just heard about it and wanted to see it.
Damn, man.
Like, what? Like 3 of them came in and I had to see it too.
Cool, guys, cool.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
There's another one. When I had that vein surgery, the doctor looks at the nurse and goes, hey, don't you have to go for your bar shift? And she goes, no, I'm not missing this. And she's like, what? And I'm like, what? And because I'm awake, I'm just, it's numbed up. And she's like, these things are massive. And pulls out another one, I'm staying.
What do they look like when they pull these things out? They go
I think I could find the photo. Yeah,
you don't need to do all that.
Big, long white worms.
White worms in a red bath of blood.
Yeah. How big or long are they?
I guess they're usually this big.
Right, so
they were pulling out some that big.
So they average about 1.5 inches, and they're pulling 4 inches out of you.
Correct. And it was pretty high up my thigh.
Oh, God, man.
That's another thing. That thing didn't hurt at all. And then, the next day, though, I mean, I had to, for a week, you had to put there was so many incisions.
Yeah. Right.
That just, once I took the bandaging off after a couple days, it just was Like my legs would just leak. You had to put all these Band-Aids on. It was gross.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids to a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Hi, here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire a whole team of yous.
Try posting a job on LinkedIn. It's the world's largest professional network. Unlike resumes, LinkedIn gives a real-time view into a candidate's skills, experiences, and more.
Huh, let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Find your perfect match with LinkedIn. Post your free job at linkedin.com/message. That's linkedin.com/message. Terms and conditions apply.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Coming up at 4:35, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. Right after emails on our question, what did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tom. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
Hey, got a funny story to tell you. First, though, I have to tell you, first song I ever heard on KISW, 1970. It was Black Water. By the Doobies. I still remember.
Damn. Oh, Black Water, keep
station,
on rolling.
That's when the station basically launched.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Used to be Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all that.
Is that what we were rocking there before?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, 1993. I've been married for about 6 months. And my wife is absolutely convinced I'm losing my hearing. And she tells me I need to go to the doctor. So I go to the doctor to get my hearing tested. Never mentioned a word about what my wife thought or just getting married. And the doctor, he was an old guy. He was, at that time he was in his 60s. So he tests my hearing. He says, your hearing is fine. And then he looks at me and he goes, hey, look, my wife thinks I'm deaf too. And then he said, you're fine. But he had figured the whole thing out.
Yeah, well, that marriage breeds that experience. A lot of different things. Yeah.
Same thing with my dad, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if he's faking it, but it just seems like, well, Mom, you keep saying this, but when I'm talking to him, he hears me just fine.
Sure.
Just fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things that are just mysteries to men. Like, why do you wait till I get to the farthest part away from you in the home before you start having a normal conversation with me?
Like, I'm not deaf. You waited for me to be 30 feet away in a different room.
I thought I snuck away without you asking me where I'm going. But then when I get to where I am going, then you start talking to me like, what?
Yeah, what do you
I'm
need right now?
upstairs. You just watched me walk up the stairs. Could you please come up here? You come down here. Come up here.
You come down here. Like, no.
Golly, man. What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Rebus. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
So, what my doctor told me was, he actually said this was, well, you're kind of screwed. And
that's not
what
good.
It was that I'm diabetic. I've got something called diabetic gastroparesis. What it does is every once in a while I'll just discover a new food that I can't eat, and I'll suddenly just start throwing up. And
that sounds fun.
Yeah. So
there's no rhyme or reason to it. Just you'll have eaten a food for all of your life, and then at some point your body just starts rejecting it now.
Yep, exactly. So, like, mushrooms are one that I absolutely love, but I'm not supposed to have. I can't have any kind of beans, anything with roughage in it, celery.
Wow.
There's just, like, a huge variety of stuff. But then because I'm diabetic, there's also, I'm supposed to avoid, a lot of carbs and things like that. And so both two nutritionists and two doctors had looked at these diets that I'm supposed to be on, and they're kind of like fighting each other. And so what ends up happening is, mostly I just have to survive on like meats and cheeses and, everything.
A charcuterie board, all right.
Yeah.
Not the worst, but not great.
No, I mean, I love it. It's good food, but it kind of sucks sometimes. And then the other thing that can happen to me is that if I start throwing up from having one of these wrong foods, then it kind of starts me on this spiral of throwing up, and then over several days, and then all of a sudden I'm dehydrated. I end up having to go into the hospital, and so they're constantly discovering all sorts of.
So if
really
let's just say, like, you went and got Thai food, it's got like 5 different things in it. You've got to deduct what you think maybe made you throw up from that dish.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That would be.
What are some of the foods you had? Like, you brought up beans, nuts, whatever. What are some of the other foods that you had previously enjoyed, but now your body says no more?
Celery is one of them, but
you like celery?
A lot of times in Chinese food and stuff, and that what they said is that actually, if I have any kind of fats, anything that's got fiber in it, it combines in my stomach to practically become like a hairball.
Oh, all right. So you can't eat an orange.
I can try, but usually it's mostly just the juice, and then
how does it affect your health? Like, it sounds like you can't eat a ton of vegetables.
Right. No, it has affected it. I actually have called in a couple times. There was some medicine that I was on for 23 years that caused my blood pressure to drop so low that I would stand up and it would drop 60 points and I would pass out.
Jesus.
And so, and so that was when I was in for some of that stuff. That was when they discovered this stuff with my diet and with what was going on with my gastroparesis. So it's just a nightmare.
Is this a hereditary thing, or is it just something that happens to one out of every?
No, it's because of my diabetes. You know how like some people lose the sensitivity in their fingers or their toes or their legs or whatever, and sometimes have to have something amputated. With me, it's like my stomach doesn't know to digest things.
I was going to say, you poop like once every 3 days, right?
If that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like that's on a good week, yeah. But there are times where the worst that it ever was 21 days.
21 days?
No pooping.
Yeah.
You weren't even camping.
And the day that it came back, boy, that was bad because I drive a shuttle for the elderly. I was driving people home, and every single time I got into the office, I was rushing for the bathroom trying to make it.
I mean, do laxatives help if you're getting that kind of backed up, or do they do nothing?
They can help, but I would have to be taking them.
Also, in all fairness, when you're driving around a bus full of elevators, you can fart all you want. No one's thinking it's you.
Hey, you crap your pants.
Absolutely is true. Yeah.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hey, you're right.
You're all right. Like I said, I farted on the plane because there was a real old guy sitting in front of me, and everyone could smell it, and everyone was just annoyed for the obvious reason because it reeked. But they were shooting darts at this dude. Even my wife. And then she kind of pieced it together when we landed during the layover. She's like, hey, let me ask you something. I'm like, what? She's like, were you the one who farted? I'm like, it was me. But the old guy was right there, and everyone was mad at him. She's like, I was mad at him, too. Wasn't even his fault. He never knew. Hello, Solomon. Welcome to the men's room.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hola.
Hola.
So what did the doctor tell you, Solomon?
Let me give you a little pre-story first. By trade, I'm a contractor. And one day I was attaching the air hose to my finish nailer, and it went off, and I thought to myself, well, it's a good thing there wasn't any nails in that thing. And then I look down my wrist, and I see a 2-inch long nail going through my wrist. And then on the back side of it, the skin's, it hadn't pierced the backside, but you can see the skin poking up where it's trying to go through.
Yeah.
And evidently it went through 2 of my tendons because my middle finger and my ring finger will both end, so I'm constantly making the rock and roll sign right there, right?
All right.
But so I go to the hospital, and they have me see this, this orthopedic surgeon lady, and they X-ray it, and she's like, you know what? Go ahead and discharge him, and bring him up to my office. I'm just going to try to pull it out up there. So they give me a bunch of, so they give me a bunch of local anesthetic, with the shots and everything to numb it up. And she says to me, she looks at me, she goes, "Sorry, but we can't numb the bone." Right?
Yeah,
and,
good point.
So whatever pliers they used or whatever type of pliers they had wasn't working because it kept on slipping off the nail. And I'm like just screaming every kind of curse word you could possibly imagine. And finally I said, I got a pair of vice grips in my car. So I go down my car and I grab a pair of vice grips, and she locks it on there. But when I came back up, she had a rolled up towel, and I'm like, "What do you think? I'm gonna bite my tongue?" She's like, "No, I'm a child orthopedic surgeon." So there's a ton of kids in the office hearing me screaming and curse words left and right. So they basically gagged me, and finally after the third time she couldn't do it, so she got this male nurse that was a lot stronger, and he pulled it out right away, and my fingers went back to normal and everything. And the ironic thing is, the very next day, I had full mobility in my hand. It didn't hurt or whatever because it was the nail went right through the bone. It didn't fracture it. It was such a went in perfectly. Didn't tear the tendons. So when it came out, there was nothing wrong with it.
Damn, you got lucky.
But that was some of the worst pain I think I've ever felt in my life. And she's right. They can't numb the bone.
Nothing they can do about that.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jake. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Positive Friday.
Yeah, Positive Friday.
Hell yeah.
So I was diagnosed a couple years ago with diverticulitis.
Oh,
and
that's what, like the pockets in the colon?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, whenever I get symptoms, I've had like 3 episodes. I've rushed to the emergency room, get antibiotics, whatever, right? Well, last September, here, about a week and a half, I kind of noticed my intake was more than my output, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, following you there.
And, I'd have to go around a corner where nobody was around and really have to work to fart. And I went, I think I'm a little clogged up here. And so I took a couple hours off of work, decided I'll just give myself a little mini colonoscopy prep. Took a bunch of Miralax and Gatorade, and nothing happened. Next morning, I'm hunched over in pain with stomach cramps, go to the urgent care, and they take a CT scan. They're like, "Yeah, you got a little blockage from your diverticulitis." Okay. And so then they starved me for 5 days in the hospital. No food, no water, trying to...
No water?
Wow. You think the water would help?
No, they actually put I think it's an LP, a tube up my nose that went down into my stomach to try to drain everything out of my stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. And then they went, "All right, we got to do a procedure." And it made colonoscopy look fun because they had to shove something up where you don't want it and put a balloon, inflate a balloon, and then do a dye.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the images afterwards because I was screaming in pain. I mean, I'm like, don't I get a local? No.
There's no way to numb up the inside, I guess.
Yeah. I'm like, can you, talk dirty to me and tickle it before you start? And I looked at the picture afterwards, and doctor comes in next morning and goes, "Yeah, we're cutting out 2 chunks of your colon."
I was going to say you need to have some of that colon removed, at least a few feet.
Yeah, I mean that dye didn't go anywhere in that picture. I was like, "Whoa!"
I think so. My dad had that, and he had 6 feet of his colon removed.
How much does it help? I mean, is it a noticeable difference for you as far as just trying to take a dump?
Well, I'm still in the 6-month recovery, so I'm kind of an S bag, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully I get that removed and get the plumbing put back together come April.
So is that easily seen? You know what I mean? Is it on your side? Is that where the...
Yeah, it's kind of on my left side. I make sure to wear long shirts,
Does it?
You're not wearing the DK Metcalf belly shirt.
But still, does it fill up at the most inopportune times?
It can.
Okay, like give me an example because you got an empty bag.
In other words, it has.
Now you go someplace and it fills up. Where were you when it filled up? You're like, oh no.
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Wait for it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Oh, okay. I had to move my car. I'm in the ferry line.
Oh, right. We get you.
And it jumped from my phone to the radio. So
yeah.
Sorry. What did you say?
I just want what is the most inopportune time where that bag is filled up?
Honestly, probably first thing in the morning, because you'll fill it up overnight and you'll roll over and go, oh, because they're pretty well made, but it's kind of an O-ring snap thing that if it's full, the weight will undo the O-ring snap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Has that happened to you yet?
Yeah, it happened about 2 weeks ago where I woke up and knew it was full, and I just rolled out of bed, and the whole thing, I caught it. Thank God.
Well, it's like when you put too much food in the Tupperware container, and then you're going to put the lid on and it squirts out the side. You're like, I misjudged that one.
Right.
What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, most of us have to get up in the morning to poop anyhow.
That's true. Mm-hmm. His body's just like, well, you didn't have to wait.
Right, if there wasn't alarm clocks and stuff to do, that's the only reason I'd get up.
That is so weird, though, right? Like, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to poop, usually I'm just going to go back to sleep because for whatever reason, I don't have any fear of pooping myself in bed. Like, if you got to pee, you'll pee. But if you got to poop, you'll like, I'll wait for the alarm. But somehow, in his situation, the body's like, got a colostomy bag? We'll just do it now.
We'll just do it now.
Yeah. Normally, I'd wait all night. But hey, buddy, you can go. Let's do it. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola. So what did the doctor tell you, Chris?
All right. So doctor pretty much told me that I was completely screwed. Man,
the doctors are saying this a lot.
I know. They're getting real casual with their doctor talk.
Yeah, pretty bad. So I was on a cruise over Christmas with my family a couple of Christmases ago, and I slipped and I fell. Broke my humerus on the boat at sea. So
were you drunk?
X-ray. I was tipsy. We'll say tipsy.
All right,
I was
you'll
not
say tipsy.
plastered.
Yeah, you say tipsy. We're going to go ahead and say drunk.
Police says you're drunk.
Yeah. So, fell backward, broke my humerus. The doctor on the boat said it was broken. Then they tried to immobilize it before I could get to shore. And they did a really terrible job of immobilizing it. So all night long, I broke it at like midnight. All night long, I could feel the 2 bits of my humerus in my arm rubbing against itself.
Ooh. Okay, that is
brutal. And then we get to Mexico. That was the next port of call.
Well, at least it wasn't Haiti.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are worse places. I get to Mexico to go to a real hospital and hoping that I can, go back to the United States and have surgery there. Mexican doctor comes back after the x-rays, and I can see him laughing in the hallway with some nurses and some other PAs.
Well, it is called the humerus,
Yeah. It got so mangled that night when I was just sitting in bed trying to sleep, rubbing against itself. It got so mangled that I needed to have the surgery that night in Mexico. So had the surgery, went well. 2 days passed. I was going to fly back home to recuperate. And that day, I think January 5th, 23, the Mexican military captured the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, El Chapo's son, like 100 miles from where we were. And the entire state was shut down. The cartel was fighting back against the military. So we were locked in Mexico for another 3 nights.
Damn, man.
How are you now?
Oh, much better now.
Okay.
The surgery went fine, but that's the coolest story that I have.
Would you ever do all-inclusive on drinks again?
I don't think in Mexico.
All right.
I don't think there.
Okay, fair enough.
But you could drink beers, right?
What do you mean?
You get a drink. You get a
What do you mean?
There's
on the
no
cruise
beer
ship?
and wine option. You go all in on the liquor, or you don't.
And then you.
But I mean, if I got all inclusive booze, could I not just get bottles of beer so that way I know they're not tainted with?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, right? So, like, when we went on the cruise, and again, I didn't get I got a drink package. I did not get the one I should have gotten. They told me on day 2, I believe it was, there was this little quote-unquote Irish pub on the ship. And they know your name instantly. Oh, Mr. Hill, you really should have gotten the platinum
By the bar package.
upgrade kind of thing. So, like, dude, you're going to run out of this by tomorrow. I'm like, look, I don't care so much. My wife is not going to be nearly as impressed as I am. And she wasn't. But all that said, man, you could, anything you wanted, right? So I'd always get a beer. I'd get a couple shots. And my wife would give me the stink eye. And I'm like, look, we already paid for the shots. Like, it's here waiting for us. I'm going to drink this. And she drank all the freaking wines you wanted, all the mixed drinks. I mean, it's a great thing, man.
Yeah, I just you were on a European cruise.
Yeah.
I just know Mexico, unfortunately, a lot of those resorts are notorious for, like, the liquor's not good or it's cut with stuff and everything else. I'm just saying, like,
I would keep the same bottle and switch it out with something else.
Right, like, I would still get that package, but I think I would just drink
the beer.
Yeah, like, I knew a girl once who, unfortunately, when she was 21, like, somebody slipped a roofie in her drink.
Jesus.
So, like, to this day, if you go out with her, she gets a bottle of beer or a can of beer.
I can believe
it. She goes, I can watch them open it. I know what's in it.
Oh, you're saying like the bartender put something in her drink?
She never found out. She was just so scarred from it. And then also, I would say, too, sometimes, like, none of us are the age that you go to nightclubs. Mm-hmm. But there used to be some clubs that were notorious for pouring just crappy drinks. So it's like, get a bottle of beer or a can of beer, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, right, absolutely. What did the doctor tell you? 206-803-ROCK.
Doesn't hurt that I like beer, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, that goes a long way. Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Kevin.
Oh, my goodness. I'm a long-time listener, guys. I'm so glad I could call in on this one.
Hola.
So the doctors told me if I continued to drink alcoholically, I would probably need my leg amputated. So slight backstory. Type 2 diabetic, had a rare disease, bone disease that diabetics can get called Charcot. It's CHARTCO. Broke my right foot. It grew back all funky. And then I would get pressure ulcers. And those pressure ulcers wouldn't heal up. And I got infection in the bone. And they told you, your leg will be amputated on this day. So I had about 3-4 months of repair. Me and the wife tried to take a vacation the week before I get my leg amputated in Utah. So I suggest not getting surgery in Utah. And so this is probably about 4 years ago now. And I ended up that we were on a vacation with our travel trailer, the truck, the in-laws, having a great time. And I ended up getting sepsis in Utah.
Jesus.
And had to spend 5 days in the hospital. And they said, we can remove the infection from the foot so you can get back to your amputation. And you'll spend 3 months in Utah when I live here in Auburn. So I said, nope, just cut out the infection and get me back. And then my in-laws threw me in the back of their dually and drove me as fast as they could back to Auburn. And had my leg amputated. I'm a right leg below the knee amputation, type 2 diabetic. So I was like, I got a good diabetic story after I heard that last guy's diabetic.
Do you have a prosthetic?
I do have a prosthetic. I'm on my 4th year now with my prosthetic. I no longer drink because I can't.
Yeah, that's
What
good
was
reason.
what was the psychology the night before the operation, the procedure?
It was pretty much at that point they've been trying to save my foot for the last 3 to 4 years. I said, get this damn thing off.
Okay, it's kind of over.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you ever get phantom pains?
Plenty of phantom pains. But
Really?
they have you on a good nerve medicine that's supposed to help block that. So, and to all the people that are amputees out there, I definitely want to say that have a good spirit and don't say your life's over, because you can get back on that horse and get back to life.
I thought you were going to say get back on your feet. So that's kind of ironic. But
Well, yeah.
Lend someone a helping hand. Man, oh man. Ted versus the FCC coming up at 4:35, and we get your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep-bop-beep-bop, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Ugh, your clothes are too tight, yet you can't lose weight, even though you've tried so many diets. The reason you're having trouble losing weight could be a liver clogged with fat, and that is slowing your metabolism. Introducing Omicid, a natural superfood protein shake that uses natural amino acids and bioactive peptides to help unclog your liver and optimize your metabolism so it's easier to lose weight, and it's been scientifically proven to preserve muscle mass. Find out more and see the university studies at Omicid.com. That's ALMASED.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit Condor.com today.
Look around. What do you see?
Cars, lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends, did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars and used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions of options to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Coming up at, I guess, about 5:08, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day into the weekend. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Damn on. And today is what we call a Men's Room Dealer's Choice Bad Choice Friday. Simply vote for one of the members of the show that you believe picked the best tune. If you follow us on X at Men's Room Live, vote for Steve, Ted, or myself. Just pick who you think's going to play the best tune. And according to Ted, who knows all these songs, we've all picked pretty good Friday afternoon
But we
songs
don't
today.
know what Ted has picked, you see. Ted knows
You
what
guys
we
don't know
picked.
what I picked.
I don't
Right.
know what you picked. So we
I like all of them, but
is there anyone that stands out?
actually, yeah, Thrill's pick is really good.
Is it?
I
Okay.
hadn't thought about that
Okay.
song in years.
It's a great tune,
And then
right?
I was getting stuff set up for the show, and I was like, God damn, man, I love the song.
I know. It's
do you have-
awesome.
Do you have a second, Ted, to pull up the voting right now?
I just looked at it.
Okay, who's in the lead?
It's Thrill's in the lead.
By a lot?
He's at like 37%. I think I'm at 33, and you're right behind me.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So vote for me now. If you follow us on X at Men's
Or
Room
me.
Live.
Continue to vote for me.
I have a,
And Mike is just out of town today. He'll be back next week.
He's
exactly
in North Carolina.
good news.
Hey, he was enjoying the local cuisine at the airport. He had some Bojangles.
Oh,
did
good.
he? Oh,
man.
no kidding.
Man.
Yeah.
What'd he get?
I don't know.
You didn't ask him?
Well, it was like right before the show. I was trying to set stuff up.
I love Bojangles.
He just sent me, he goes, I'm eating Bojangles. Like, attaboy.
Yeah, man.
Nice work. Okay, let's see. Ted versus the FCC is coming up at 4:35. But first, time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
As we jump right into birthdays, guys, it's my best friend Bry's 30th birthday today. She is a big fan of the show. Want to give her a big shout out. Can I get a Homer Simpson fish sandwich?
Is
there,
it Bry
Ted?
or Brie?
It's BRY. So I'm assuming
Oh,
it's
yes,
Bry.
Brian. All right.
The only Brian I know is a dude, the games.
Well, maybe Bree, sorry. So fish sandwich, Homer Simpson style. Turtle sex, and Coach Ted giving her a pep talk on how best to live in her 30s. Also, the Dirty Germans telling her why she should she should take care of her boyfriend. Thanks so
That's
much.
not what it says.
That's all the best. And from Jimbo.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
Yeah. Smooth.
All right, how to live your best 30s. Honestly, just go out there and dominate. All right, listen, soon you'll be 40, but hey, 30's the new 20s, 30's the new 40s, whatever. Go out there and have fun. You're still in your 30s, right? You shouldn't be aching that much. You don't have that weird pain in your shoulder because you slept on it wrong. The doctor's like, we call that old man shoulder. You don't have to deal with that yet, so you're good to go.
Yeah, I believe the email said why she should smoke her man's meats. And I think it's self-explanatory, but I would use your mouth as the smoker.
Yeah. It's like in America, you have the Slim Jims. Before you snap into it, you just suck on it for a while.
Well, I no disrespect to her boyfriend, but shouldn't she be the one getting something on her birthday?
Maybe that's what she really likes to do, man.
Yeah, Miles.
Like, hey. And he
Why
breaks
is
it out as a treat. Hey, it's your birthday. Give
Go
me a
ahead.
hug.
Hunker down.
All right. Guys, Ola, it is my 35th birthday today, so can I get some Dirty Germans, please? That from Joe the Plumber.
Yeah, Josie Plumber, you don't mind being around the poop. That is good because I don't mind being around the poop either.
Yeah. You know, it's very interesting the way Joe uses a plunger on a female.
Yeah.
Michelle's going to get a shout out for my gal, Jennifer, a.k.a. Sugar Boobs. Another year older and aging like a fine wine. Let's hit her with a cut that bitch off. The captain sharing what he knows about biomedical science and some dad jokes for Miles. Thanks, fellas. Rock on that from Brent in Ole.
What was he looking for?
Cut that bitch off.
Oh, you got it.
And the captain. El Capitan.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. What do we know about biomedical science? Well, we know it's a multidisciplinary field that applies scientific methods to healthcare and public health. It involves studying the human body and developing new technologies and testing treatments for disease. And we're very interested in the treatments for disease ever since the SS Guppy anchored off the coast of Taiwan. That's where us mascots visited a local brothel while high on paint fumes. Anyway, the following morning, a few of us had a burning and itching sensation in the downstairs region. Now, so far, no doctors know exactly what it is, but they say it's definitely an STD of some kind. So that's why we're very interested in your biomedical science, because it burns. Crunch berries.
Dad Joke Friday. All right, Jennifer, a.k.a. Sugar Boobs.
Sugar Boobs.
Did you guys know that Stevie Nicks once turned down a marriage proposal from William Shatner?
No.
Stevie Nicks turned down a marriage proposal from William Shatner. She said she didn't want to be known as Stevie Shatner Nicks. That's a good one, huh? Yeah. Fleetwood Mac joke. Guys, my doctor told me I had a very good prostate.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
I was deeply touched. Ted, you should know this one. What does Mickey Mouse's wife drive?
What?
A minivan.
Yeah, that's right there.
And finally, what do you call a locksmith with a lisp? What do you call a locksmith with a lisp?
I don't know.
What? Keith.
Had to be a name, right?
Yeah.
Stephanie. Steven.
Hello, dinosaurs. Today is my older sister's 38th birthday. Can I get a you and your girl and your Johnson? The Dirty Germans talking about Monty Python, and some advice from Coke Ted on what Hannah should do now that she's 2 years away from turning 40. Thanks, guys. That from the lovely Lydia.
You, your girl, and your Johnson.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Monty Python, only because the nickname for my penis is the Mighty Python.
Yeah, by the end of the night, you'll be someone saying, yee. All right, man, going out there, you got to go party. How long? What do they need to know here about?
Basically what they can do with a couple years away from turning 40. Coke Ted.
Couple years away from turning 40, that's perfect. Right. Honestly, I'd start with an 8-ball, go out, get 2 8-balls. You won't do them all in one night. You probably will. Doesn't matter. Either way, go out, go to a bar, have fun, slam shots, do something stupid, and take an Uber home. And on the way home, get 2 more 8-balls. Man, for the whole weekend. Who cares? You don't need to eat.
Oh, God.
Just tell people you're sweaty because you're hot.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, God. I have seen people the next day sometimes, and it's just like not a party environment. It's just like, are you okay? I had a long night. Like, you are dripping sweat.
Bro, the last time we were in Vegas, I would just say there was some product that no one else was consuming anymore. So I did my best to get through this bag, man. And I was probably up until like 5:30 in the morning. It's no joke. And I mean, I couldn't do it all. Anyway, get to the airport. I am shaking. I am sweating. And basically, everyone looked at me and said, that guy's high on cocaine. And it's like, you are correct. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't finish the bag, so I just put it in the top drawer next to the Bible in Vegas. I figure whoever goes there next will probably be happy to make the score or house cleaning.
I've been on the opposite end just from booze in Vegas. Like, we're sitting there. This was years ago. We were all there. Miles, it's like 11 a.m. It's not crazy. Miles like, you want to get a beer? I go, no. And he goes, why? I go, I'm going to puke. Like, seriously, I was like, if I take a sip, I might throw up.
Birthday shout out, guys, for Wyatt Only.
Oh, Wyatt, happy birthday, dude.
Come on, brother. Today is my bestie's birthday. I think you know him, and I need you all to help me celebrate him. I don't care what voices you use, as long as you make our boy laugh until he pees himself. Wyatt is a ridiculously special person in my heart. His existence makes my world better every day, and I'd be lost without his friendship, love, and trust, and without his laughter and his music and his madness. So please tell him that I said happy birthday, Angel Boy. Thank you for your friendship, for loving me like you do, for seeing me, your trust, making me laugh, for your beautiful heart and your music, and for choosing to stay. I went for the music, but I found a best friend who means more than anything. So thank you for that. And I love you to hell and back. Thanks so much. Appreciate you all making his birthday special. That from Jackie. I think that knowing Wyatt, maybe not knowing them that well, Coke Ted, do you have any advice on how he should spend his birthday?
Brother, we've done blow together.
Damn it.
All right, well, I don't know what birthday it is for you, but you're in a rock band. You know how this goes. Go to the venue. This night, you're not working. Stay backstage. Do coke. Wait for that other drummer, the weird one from the other local band. He'll come back with bad coke. Send him out of the room. You got your own bag. It's your birthday. Stay up till sunrise. Pet a cat. Eat a breakfast.
Pet a cat. And by the way, Wyatt, you really should name your band Quiet Wyatt. I mean, it's right there.
Quiet Wyatt.
Welcome to Quiet Wyatt.
Oh, man. Coke Ted's getting tired.
Yeah, I have partied many times with this Mr. Wyatt man, and all these things that Jackie says, they are true, but also he has a very high tolerance for lots of things.
Yeah.
Including butt stuff.
Ironically, one of the last times I saw him was last year at a festival. So did he know I was still upstairs? He's like, what are you doing up here? I was like, does it not smell up here?
That's the last time I saw him, and I came down to these studios, right?
Nice.
And he's like, oh, yeah, man, you got the new digs. God, I kind of miss your old place. Man, we did a lot of drugs in your old studio. I'm like, yes, we did. Yes, we did.
All right, Wyatt, here's some dad jokes for you. Ted, what do you call a person engaged to Beyonce? What do you call someone engaged to Beyonce?
Jay-Z?
Fiance.
Beyonce.
A woman in labor shouts, shouldn't, wouldn't, didn't, couldn't. Don't worry, said the doctor. Those are contractions.
It's an English joke.
Oh.
Apostrophe T. See?
I'm like, I do not get that.
Your mama's so ugly.
Yeah? How ugly is she?
Your mom is so ugly, your dad wakes up with morning wouldn't. One more dad joke for you, Wyatt. Word of the day, butternuts.
Butternuts?
Butternuts. She told me she was a chick, butternut. Gentlemen, my amazing husband Kyle turns 40 today.
Yeah.
And would love a birthday shout out. Can we get Coke Ted pumping him up about turning 40 and how cool it will be when he finally gets his Porsche up and running? Thank you guys from his crazy Cuban wife, Terry.
Well, the good news is, first of all, we know we're getting the Coke. That's our Cuban wife. Second of all, let's do so much Coke that Porsche never gets fixed. That's the old thing. Let's go outside and work on the Porsche. Jesus Christ. See, you need a guy like Coke Ted recommending more drugs when you have a car straight out front. You never work. Yeah.
People love Coke Ted.
Oh, do they?
I'm just looking at the text, dude. Yeah, Coke Ted is a hit.
I am stone sober. This is a prime reason I have never done Coke.
Yes. That's why it's so ironic that you do it so well. I know. Old Mitchell is me, a fellow West Virginian. My husband, Tim, a fellow Marylander. Listens daily to your show on our way to the gym after work. Can you please give him a shout out for his 48th trip around the sun? He forgot mine. That was 2 days ago.
Oh.
Could you give him a Leroy Jenkins, some green beans, and a delightful story from the captain and the mascots about how they handle their bombs and explosives? Thank you guys, and rock on. That from the lovely Christina.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Ted will need a little green bean action, I think.
Sorry, I'm texting Mike. Would you get a Bojangles? Green beans.
Green beans.
That should be in the regular area, Miles.
Well, not then.
We use it a lot.
The captain works as well.
Ooh, well, ahoy. I guess I'll talk to you on Ted. Looks for green beans, which oddly enough kind of plays into you wondering what us mascots do with bombs and explosives. Well, originally we were hired by many a different international warlord to dispose of their bombs and explosives, but do it responsibly. Then the Jolly Green Giant came along, and when he started hanging out, he said, "Why are you doing that with the bombs and explosives?" Well, as it turns out, he's into butt stuff. So now we take the explosives, he uses them as a suppository, and he says on his third hoe, anytime he's doing a commercial, to detonate them, because it gets him going. So anytime you see a commercial with the Jolly Green Giant, he says, "Ho, ho, ho." Know that when he says that last ho, we detonated an explosive in his rectum. And he loves it. Crunch berries.
Green bean.
What?
Green bean.
Okay.
Green
Hey guys, I
bean.
want to wish my silver fox husband, Matt, a very happy 50th birthday. Can I get Coach Ted? I give him a pep talk on turning 50, and the Dirty Germans wishing him a happy birthday. You guys are awesome. Thank you. That from Katie in Port Orchard.
What's this guy's name?
His name is Matt. He's 50 years old.
Matt, you're turning 50. So just basically, Coach's advice today is do everything. Don't do anything Coach Ted said. All right, that's the bottom line. We're turning 50. Age catches up with you. Other than that, have fun. Enjoy those over-the-hill cards.
Yeah, I understand that you're a silver fox. Yeah, that is about the hair on your head. I can't wait to see you downstairs.
Yeah, it's silver, too. So, silver and gold. It's like a robot down south.
Let's see. Texas came in. Kind of late to the party. Please say happy birthday to Opie, the manager at Earl's on the Ave and part owner. He's just so much fun to be around. Smiles all the time, and he really likes when random strangers go up to hug him. I believe that. So let's give him your penis is too small and whatever else you think is appropriate.
Mm-hmm. I was at Earl's a few weeks ago. Actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just an old school bar.
So make sure you go up and give Opie a hug, because apparently he loves that kind of thing.
It's not just labeled penis.
Penis too small, teeny tiny penis, little member.
Penis. Can you find the penis?
Penis. I think you're made of clay.
Just give him whatever.
No, Ted's hunting for that penis.
Yeah, I mean, it should be right here.
Where's the penis?
Come on, Ted.
Are you me?
No.
Holy
None of that's a penis. Where's the penis?
Oh, yeah, pressure's on.
Come on, Ted. The man just wants a penis.
Golly chestnut!
No, that's not a penis.
He's got one, though. There's no penis.
Look, I know it's in here. Hang on. It's a lot of fish sandwiches.
You can't find the penis.
Boston J, Jeb Bush, Pure, blah, 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 blah.
There's no penis.
There it is.
All right. Yeah. There you go, Opie.
Lower right.
All right, guys. Here you go.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Okay, Ted, do you think it's time that we go back in time? The last time that we played Ted versus the FCC? If we could, let's go back in time.
Sherry's new sofa was shipped from Shack of Sit. Sherry sits and sips cherry soda on her sofa from Shack of Sit. Your sofa will ship quick if you shop at Shack of Sit.
3 times fast.
Sherry's new sofa was shipped from Shack of Sit. Sherry sits and sips cherry soda on her sofa from Shack of Sit. Your sofa will ship quick if you shop at Shack of Sit.
1.
Sherry's new sofa was shipped from Shack of Sit. Sherry sits and sips cherry soda from her sofa on her Shack of Sit. Your soda will ship quick if you shop at Shack of Sit.
2.
Sherry's new sofa was shipped from Shack of Sit. Sherry sits and sips cherry soda on her sofa from Shack of Sit. Your sofa will ship quick if you shop at Shack of Sit.
Oh, my. Here we go. Big win at Ted versus the FCC. Let's do it again.
And now, everyone's favorite daytime game show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
Would you believe a coworker came up with a Ted versus the FCC?
I can't even believe a coworker was physically present.
I can't either. We actually had one in the radio station.
My God.
Nice. I counted 3 employees at Odyssey Seattle. They were here today
Better not us.
on a sunny Friday afternoon. Fortunately,
Fake spring.
one of them brought us a Ted versus the FCC. You know him as a legendary veggie dog.
Okay, all right.
VD dropped this on my desk today, Ted. It's a good one. It has to do with your new lifestyle choice of being Coke Ted. This one goes a little something like this, courtesy of Veggie Dog. Ted cannot quit Coke. He snorts Coke, sucks Coke, sits, shifts, sits, cuts, shakes, shifts, sits, and shouts, I can't cut Coke on the clock. What a crock. Now, the way we do Ted versus the FCC, one time through, 3 times fast. You just worry about the winner and the loser bet on this one since we're short-staffed. I'll handle the dump button and everything else. Okay?
Will you?
Maybe.
I can't find it. Where did that pesky dump button go?
All right. Ted can't quit Coke. He snorts Coke, sucks Coke, sits, shifts, sits, cuts, shakes, shifts, sits, and shouts, I can't cut Coke on the clock. What a crock.
3 times fast.
Ted can't quit Coke. He snorts Coke, sucks Coke, sits, shifts, sits, cuts, shakes, shifts, sits, and shouts, I can't cut Coke on the clock. What a crock.
1.
Ted can't quit Coke. He snorts Coke, sucks Coke, sits, shifts, sits, cuts, shakes, shifts, sits, and shouts, I can't cut Coke on the clock. What a crock.
2.
Ted can't quit Coke. He snorts Coke, sucks Coke, sits, shifts, sits, cuts, shakes, shifts, sits, and shouts, I can't cut Coke on the clock. What a crock.
Oh, there you go. Another win. It's Ted versus the FCC. Nice job. There you go. All right, coming up, it's a 5:08. We'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been.
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed, yeah. A.K.A. You're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night 1 and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, Dakota, it's a 5:08. We will drink and toast the weekend with the shot of the day. And we also have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on. And since he's not here, he is really not working on those.
What did he get at Bojangles, by the way? Did he text you back?
He got a chicken sandwich and fries. And now he is at a barbecue place. Where's he at? Winston-Salem.
All right.
I told him not to get brisket, but he said they told him brisket is why they're famous. So he put brisket on there, sweet potato casserole, which I liked, and I think he got greens.
Okay. There's a big parade of planets tonight with 7 planets visible in the night sky. Experts say the best time to look around is about dusk. Now, they say you might only see 4 or 5. Saturn is pretty close to the sun right now, and you need a telescope or binoculars to see Uranus and Neptune. So grab your binoculars.
And look at Uranus.
They do call it a parade because they're all lined up in the sky, and it will not happen again until 2040.
Oh, wow.
40.
So, look, right now, as of right now...
Yeah, the sky's clear, man. We rarely get that. Anytime there's some celestial event between, like, September and May, we get that.
Speaking of space...
What time should we go out and look at it specifically?
Dusk. As they
oh,
say
so coming up.
Yeah.
Get your binocular out, nerds.
And look at Uranus.
More nerd news. It turns out the space station might be too sterile. A lack of germs could be giving astronauts rashes and cold sores, which they have been experiencing. That the space station is actually too sterile.
Did they explain how that you're getting rashes?
Not working on it.
And sores.
Because of sterility.
Wow, okay.
Here's news, space-wise. Katy Perry is going into outer space.
Oh, God.
Like, for real. She is joining an all-female crew on board one of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin space flights. She'll be joined by Gayle King from CBS Mornings, Bezos' fiance, Lauren Sanchez, and 3 other women. An aerospace engineer, a civil rights activist, and a filmmaker. Now, Lauren reportedly brought the mission together. The launch tentatively scheduled for this spring. She says, quote, honored to lead a team of explorers on a mission that will challenge their perspectives of Earth, empower them to share their own stories, and create lasting impact that will inspire generations to come.
It's going to go up in the air and like a firework.
The thing that well played. What bugged me about it was Katy Perry. I can't explain it. For whatever reason, when she talks, it annoys me. There's something about her personality that just drives me nuts. And the idea of her going into space and then coming back and telling us about it. Look, I'm a space nerd. When she talks about it, I'm going to hate space. I know
it just sounds like a bunch of California girls getting together.
I'm honored to be among this diverse group of celestial sisters.
Oh, my God.
Celestial sisters.
Think they'll make out?
Say that?
What's that?
That was Katy Perry.
Yeah.
See, it's already annoying. You know, I don't know what it is about her. I'm like, please, not her.
They should take up Left Shark.
Who the heck? What?
Remember when she did her Super Bowl performance? Left Shark kind of forgot, forgot the dance moves. He was just kind of doing his own thing. Like, throw Left Shark in there.
Why not?
Well, let's say more science news. Wolves, they say now, may have domesticated themselves 30,000 years ago. Do you know why wolves domesticated themselves with human beings 30,000 years ago?
Fire.
Nope. Keep guessing. It makes sense.
Cooked meat.
Treats.
Yeah.
The T word that you cannot say around any dog. That knows.
They just start, like, the humans just naturally were like, here, wolf.
You throw something to it, then the wolves were like, you know what, man, we don't have to hunt and put ourselves in danger because these 2-legged hairless monkeys, they just hand us stuff. And then they've said that some of the wolves that may have domesticated themselves would then look for mates that also like the idea of, like, hey, let's get our food for free, man.
It's the T word, man.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. What's like every time you see a celebrity, especially, you know, that's made it super rich and everything, they talk about how once you've got all the money, people just give you S for free.
Yep.
It's the same thing. The wolf was in charge. It's the alpha animal. We were scared. It's like, here, take a treat.
And it's like, all right, cool. They said the same thing with cats, right? We started agriculture, so we started storing grain and stuff, and all the mice. So the cats came in, take care of the mice, and once the cats realized, like, hey, listen, man, as long as you kill the mice and eat them, the 2-legged hairless monkeys, they will hook you up, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of your dog, a daily pill to extend Fido's lifespan could be on the market very soon. It is an anti-aging pill created by biotech startup Loyal, and it has been certified by the FDA as having a reasonable expectation of effectiveness, according to the Washington Post. The CEO says the recognition is a key step toward extending dogs' lives. She believes the FDA will certify the drug as being safe before the end of the year, clearing the way for vets to prescribe it for dogs 10 years or older that weigh at least 14 pounds. Loyal says the drug is a result of research on how to deliver the life-extending effects of caloric restriction without having to give dogs restrictive diets. And they say the findings could extend to human lives. It's harder to win that approval, though, for human treatments from the FDA. If we can successfully delay the onset and severity of age-related diseases in dogs, it's compelling evidence that it possibly could do the same for humans. Now, the CEO of the company says she wants to keep the cost below $100 a month to encourage widespread use instead of jacking up the price and getting the millionaire dog on the drug to live longer.
Right.
So that's good news as far as that is concerned. Speaking of pets, believe it or not, about 20 states allow for the keeping of raccoons as pets.
Oh, all right.
And if Stephen Casper is successful in his latest mission, Kansas will be the next one. The resident is behind a bill to legalize raccoon ownership with clear evidence that proper regulation could ensure public safety and animal welfare. Per the proposed legislation, owners would need to have their raccoon vaccinated against rabies, take it in for regular vet checkups, and complete an educational program on caring for the raccoon. Casper also recommends that ownership permits only be given out if individuals buy a raccoon from a licensed breeder, meaning it's not permissible to just bring one out of your backyard into your house.
I'm a licensed breeder of raccoons.
Yes.
Don't just grab one and make it a pet.
He says he's been training wild raccoons in his home for years, calls his interactions with the ring-tailed mammal the highlight of my life. These are the things you do when you become an empty nester, he says. A lot of people have them.
Right.
I don't realize they're not legal pets. He's also lobbying for a bill and says he has a lot of wild pets, and he's grown up on a farm his entire life.
Where's he from?
He is from Iowa. No, Kansas. Sorry.
Kansas.
Kansas. I mean, if you're an empty nester in Kansas, I mean, I guess it's that boring.
Might as well, right?
I think when training raccoons is the highlight of your life, you should also reflect on the life you've led.
Yes.
Yeah, and if it's an empty nester, is that kind of essing on his kids?
Kids moved out and turned to raccoons.
I mean, you got to find something to take care of, right?
It's just rare that someone to be like, the highlight of my life, raising raccoons. Like, you have 3 children.
Kids are like, yo, Dad, man.
We go to the...
a little something, you know,
we go
for
to
the effort.
Smith Family Beer Garden and Popcorn Stand, Beverly, Massachusetts.
All right.
Authorities are asking for the public's help finding a man accused of mistaking a local bar for a bathroom. According to Beverly Police, the patron turned a local drinking establishment into their personal bathroom by urinating all over the top of the bar while standing on the stool.
Good Lord, man.
Not only is this disgusting, but it's also incredibly disrespectful to the staff and patrons. Police wrote in a social media post.
Really? You had to explain that.
Anyone with information about the incident or the man responsible is asked to reach out to Beverly authorities. He ran out. They still can't find him. Let's keep our local establishments a place for good times, not peeing on the bar.
Somebody knows him.
According to police, they have a picture of him.
Guaranteed. Right.
There's no way, right? Yeah. Unless he's from out of state, but like somebody's got to know this dude.
You would think so.
And why would you pee on a bar, man?
Mm-hmm. You ever been to a bar and seen somebody doing that? I've been to a bar and seen somebody just so out of it, just peeing on the floor.
Yes.
Standing there. And it's
I
like,
have too.
It's
while
like,
waiting in line for a beer.
And it's like, dude.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
They're waiting in line for a beer and they were peeing.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, maybe you don't need the beer.
I was with them.
Oh,
that's worse.
I was with them.
So my friends have a story. I didn't go on the trip, but same thing.
I'm leaving. They're standing at the bar and they were peeing underneath the bar.
Oh.
And thought it was funny.
So he was doing that on purpose.
Yes.
The story I have
Wasn't
from
me. Well, that's awfully quiet.
My
What's your
buddies,
story, Ted?
one of their friends, basically, they got so hammered, they're like in a booth, and he just stood up and started going. But I think he was so blacked out, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yes. Speaking of penis, they say don't let the cold weather keep you from heating up in the bedroom. A doctor is warning you watch out for winter penis, a seasonal condition that may be a hinder to a man's ability to perform sexually.
Oh, I thought that was the Captain America spinoff. Captain America, the winter penis?
Mm-hmm. Yep. No more soldier, winter penis.
Yeah, winter penis.
Most of the country is still
Hey, but he's white again.
in the dead of winter. And male genitalia recedes into the body to maintain body heat.
Let me sneak back in here.
Resulting in restricted blood flow. Yes, it goes into hibernation. The phenomenon, which affects men of all ages, can cause the male member to shrink in size up to 50% during the winter. Damn. While the slowed circulation makes achieving an erection difficult when the thermostat also drops. A doctor explained it. He said winter penis is a passing condition for most men, occurring only during frigid conditions and reversing once the temperature recovers. For the 30 million American men with erectile dysfunction, however, the occurrence can be more difficult to manage due to additional underlying issues that block blood flow to the penis. In some cases, physicians may prescribe medications to help stave off the mitigating effects of winter penis, particularly for men with erectile dysfunction. And they say while winter penis should not be worrying for most, cured simply by warming up the body, any shrinkage that outlasts the cool temps should be noted by a doctor, as they could point out additional health concerns.
Oh, look at this. We can prescribe medications like put a hand warmer in your underwear. I mean, to me, like, hey, if it's a matter of being cold, like, let's warm it up.
Yeah, and it's like, sorry, it's just winter penis.
You know me, more penis news.
Well, yeah, all right.
A German football clash between FC Taxi 2 and Rot-Weiss Mulheim in painful circumstances, with referee Stefan Koller abandoning the match before he had even blown the whistle.
So like, it hasn't even started.
Correct.
And he goes, we got to end this.
As he checked over the players before the game, a child of one of the players ran up to him and bit him in the testicle.
Jeez, man.
He buckled over and, presumably in quite a lot of pain, had no choice but to call off the game. The two clubs will now have their match rescheduled for later in the season. In the refereeing report, Koller said, while I was checking the FC Taxi player's ID, a small child was doing warm-up exercises alongside the players. He came closer and closer to me. Then suddenly, to my complete surprise, gave me a sharp bite in my left testicle. I did not start the game because the pain was so intense. I was in the situation I was in. It was the child of one of the players who was to blame. Now, the clubs are currently battling in the 8th tier of the German Football League.
Eighth tier?
FC Taxi.
I think I could play in that.
Third, when the match is rescheduled, though, Taylor will not be allowed to officiate. And if he is, well, probably, they say, consider wearing some form of protective gear.
Damn.
If it comes
also,
down.
like, that's pretty bad parenting. Like, I understand kids can bite.
Yeah.
But, like, what is going on where your kid is biting a dude in the junk?
And specifically, the left testicle.
What goes on at that house?
Yes.
You know.
Fast food news. What's the weirdest thing that made you feel old? Here's a new option. Taco Bell's Crunchwrap Supreme is turning 20 years old this week.
Wow.
Damn.
It was their most successful
Happy birthday, Crunchwrap Supreme.
Happy.
Now their most successful launch goes to Nacho Fries, which debuted in 2018. Now they are marking the 20th anniversary with a new mini Crunchwrap option called Crunchwrap Sliders. There's only one kind, steak and queso, half the size, but you get two. And they come with a green chili queso dipping sauce. Not clear how long they'll be selling them, but they are listed as a limited time thing on the menu.
I mean, that seems to be the new thing, right?
What's that?
You just take whatever your product is and, like,
make it smaller.
Yeah, and
sell it for less.
Credit to Taco Bell. They've done this with a couple other things. And they're just like, well, they're smaller, but it comes with a dipping sauce and we throw cheese on it.
Yep.
It's like, all right, I'm back in.
Why not? As you know, the end of February is tonight. Tomorrow we head into March.
Yep.
And here are some things to look forward to in the month of March.
Oh, my birthday, and you're done.
You will be 56.
That is correct.
Damn.
If I make
Lawrence
it long.
Taylor year.
Yes, the Lawrence Taylor year.
That's right. There's only like 2 or 3 months we're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
We're in that window. All right.
St. Patrick's Day, Miles.
You know what? That's on the list. Number 1, though, the most important thing in my world, daylight saving time starts next Sunday, March the 9th. Now, you will lose an hour of sleep that night, but it won't get dark so early in the afternoon anymore. Then March 20th is the first day of spring.
All right.
Okay? Also, it's almost March Madness time.
Yep.
Selection Sunday is March the 16th. Then the men get started on the 18th, and the women's tournament starts up the very next day. Also, the new Major League Baseball season starts in a few weeks. The Cubs and Dodgers play the first series in Japan, believe it or not, on March 18th, and that counts. Opening day for everyone else is March 27th. So 9 days later. So they're over in Japan, and those games, without question, they mark on the schedule for wins and losses.
Okay. All right. So it matters.
They did the same thing with the games they played in London last year, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Because they made that weird... I mean, it's hard to make a baseball field out of a soccer pitch, but they did it.
Mm-hmm. Other stuff, things to look forward to on TV. The Oscars are coming up on Sunday night. Grey's Anatomy and 911 return for their 6th season. Return on the 6th. American Idol and the Righteous Gemstones show are back on the 9th, and John Mulaney's got a new Netflix talk show that premieres on the 12th. Bill Burr has a new stand-up special on Hulu on the 14th. Seth Rogen has a new Apple TV series, The Studio, starting on the 26th. And The Simpsons returns for its 37th season on March the 30th. And finally, we do have some holidays in the month of March. The big ones are Ramadan. That actually starts tonight.
All right.
Lent starts next Wednesday. March 8th is International Women's Day. Purim starts on the 13th and the 17th. That would be St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
Yep. And there's also National Cereal Day on March 7th, National Ranch Dressing Day on the 10th, Pie Day March 14th, National Puppy Day on the 23rd, Waffle Day on the 25th, and March 27th is National Viagra Day.
Well, that one I knew, yeah.
Yes.
I'm on it.
Okay. Coming up at 5:50, we do have your headlines, but first, Ted, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Quick time is here, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an unidentified man from somewhere in Arizona. Now, police suspected that he might be driving under the influence or having a medical episode when they saw his vehicle veer off the road and crashed into a guardrail. Well, it turns out that he was, in fact, drunk. Now, the man himself, when the cops got there, he tried assuring cops that he was, quote, totally perfect. The thing is, he wasn't. And one of the pieces of evidence was that his finger was literally stuck in a can of White Claw. As you might imagine, it was literally stuck in the can of White Claw. Yeah, he was arrested and charged with DUI. He had some other charges as well, but yeah, that was their tip-off that, one, you're not totally perfect, and we no longer believe it's a medical episode.
Why was his finger in the can?
Man, I don't know why he had his finger in a can of White Claw in the first place, but he could not get the can off of his finger. So when he told the cops, like, I'm totally perfect. They're like, bro, your finger's stuck in a can of White Claw. Like, come on, man.
Nice.
Let's go. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bijola.
Your winner on a big Bad Choice Friday on the way next.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
I love the Marquette community. I think, it to me resembles a family of some sort.
You are coming to a place that is not only going to give you a great education, but I think it's going to make you a very well-rounded individual.
Especially because of the size, you can definitely find your people. I came in and it was open arms. While you're here, we're going to try to make you feel that same love and make this place home. We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex lotion tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
But teacher, when are we ever going to use math in the real world?
With Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on AutoTrader, you don't have to. At least not car math. Hit the road with confidence knowing exactly what you're going to pay each month for your car. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
And today we celebrate the luck of the Irish on a Bad Choice Friday. Your choices, the Irish Rovers and the Unicorn, taking on Kermit the Frog. And being green, Mike, how was the voting?
It wasn't terribly close there, Miles. It was a 60-40 split. And on this day, we were celebrating the little people. We were celebrating the Irish. So who would think that we would go with an Irish band? No, nay. It's all about being green this weekend.
Kermit the Frog. Here is your winner on a Bad Choice Friday. Welcome to the weekend. You are listening to the Men's Room. 99.9 KISW.
Brace the rudders. Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah!
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Boshery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Your choices today. You got Stephen Colbert, Tomlinson,
Taylor,
The Jimmy,
Fallon and Kimmel,
Seth Meyers, Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have teams of talented writers helping come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Go to the entertainment world. A lot of people are angry at Disney for being quote-unquote too woke, as some characters are now people of color. Personally, I don't care. But Shrek not being green anymore is a step too far.
The Ted Smith, yes.
I don't know. Everybody's all worked up about one of the shows.
It does, right. There's a Snow White, I think it is, getting all the heat now.
Yeah, because the girl's black.
She's not black. She's Latin.
Yeah, like whatever. I don't know. It's a fake. Dude. According to a new study, almost a quarter of Americans say they pee in the shower. Even worse, that means 75% of Americans are liars.
So it's Seth.
Alan? Seth.
According to a new survey, nearly a quarter of Americans said that they regularly pee in the shower. Even worse, that means 75% of Americans are liars.
So far this month, the price of eggs has rapidly fallen. Or as everyone who just bought a bunch of backyard chickens put it, fan-effing-tastic.
Seth Meyers.
Colbert.
Fallon.
Damn it.
I read that so far this month, the price of eggs has rapidly fallen.
Yes.
Or as everyone who just bought a bunch of backyard chickens put it, fan-effing-tastic.
A New York woman has filed a lawsuit against the Girl Scouts, claiming their cookies are contaminated with dangerous levels of heavy metal, especially the Tin Mints.
Colbert.
Myers.
A New York woman has filed a lawsuit against the Girl Scouts that claims their cookies are contaminated with, quote, dangerous heavy metals, especially the Tin Mints.
That's a good one.
It is. It's just so stupid. People love those cookies. Has anybody tried that? Somebody's got a milkshake now with Thin Mints in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Miles, your car probably tells you.
Yeah, it probably does.
You better pull over and get one.
It probably is Arby's.
Or it might be a Frosty.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Might be Wendy's.
Or DQ.
So a fast food chain out there.
Like if they put a Blizzard, they maybe partner up.
Or Carl's Jr.
Yeah. Or Hardee's. Depending on where you're.
So you want to throw one in?
Or Sonic.
In-N-Out Burger. What happened?
Flurry.
Popeyes.
Carl's Jr.
Mike, you watch Love is Blind, don't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh. All right. Thurl, does your wife watch Love is Blind?
Nope.
That's the one where they can't see each other, but they just talk behind the screen, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I watched it during the pandemic. I have not kept up with it. I was forced to watch some last week because I was at somebody else's house and they wanted to watch it.
So if I'm watching the show, can I see what each person looks like?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So do they deliberately sabotage anyone with just like some ugly, fat, nasty pop face?
No. They're all attractive to begin with.
Okay. So there's no real lose. See, I would do it the opposite.
They're all attractive, but here's your pig.
One is Susan Boyle. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know, but you liked them in conversation. Here they are.
Correct. Well, I like that, right? They just say, if you're watching it for the success stories, well, you're wrong. Season 8, I guess, was probably the most disappointing. Only one couple got married.
Okay. Is that the overall goal of this?
Correct. You're supposed to, like, pick a partner.
All right.
If I remember correctly, that I don't know if you have to get engaged as soon as you see them. I mean, it's kind of a sick and twisted game.
Yeah. I would not go on a show like that. Hey, if you pick them, you're engaged. Like,
No thank you.
We'll just call it is what it is, right? Like one season, the dude was just kind of like just kind of a straight up, a little bit of a nerdy white guy.
All right.
From like the sticks. And the woman he picked was a black woman from Atlanta. And she was like, well, I'm not leaving Atlanta. So like they were going to get married and move to Atlanta. But like, for that guy, I'm not shocked. Like that was a culture shock.
Yeah, you think?
Besides just right. And like, trust me, it's not like her parents were like super
cool.
Right? They're just like, who is this guy? So like that one didn't work out. But that's the thing too. You got to think about that. Like you don't know nothing about these people other than you like talking to them,
right?
Which is much easier. You know what I mean? Like there's phone sex lines or whatever. But even I think sometimes with the dating services, you text with somebody for a while sometimes before you hang out with them. And texting with people is easy, right? And then you hang out with them in person. You're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't. I did not mean it to come out that way. But the show's executive producer, she said the key and the challenge is to find nice men. We think it's such a cool experience, an experiment for people to do. We want to bring in some really quality individuals. We want people to do it because we've seen it work. She adds, if you look at all the husbands who come from the show, it's the really nice guys that it works out for. We just need more nice men. It's like, well, yeah, because you gotta kind of bend over backwards. And look, I've never been one of these people, but I have plenty of friends that were very like, and these are guys that are like, I want to get married, I want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
So they would do all the dating services, find somebody, and like, from my point of view, I go, is that who you really want, or is that just because you want to get it?
That is such a weird thing to me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, that's the way they go about it.
Yeah.
It's like shopping on Black Friday, getting that deal.
Yeah, get the deal.
It's only one day.
Yeah. And for those of you, like, good on
It's
you.
not the TV I wanted, but I got this one at a good price.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
I can still watch my TV shows,
wanted,
right?
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, to me, it's just more traditional. Like, you date somebody for a while and then go, all right, this is what it is.
And that's kind of like, all right.
Then they dump you. Did you guys hear about the disappearance of Kelly Clarkson?
No. I did not.
No.
Basically, she was just gone. Up until yesterday, she hadn't been on the show since March 5th. They had guest hosts and everything. The main thing was she didn't mention it or whatever. She came back yesterday. She just said, like, she's okay, but it's a personal family problem.
Okay.
This and that. And listen, it could be a ton of things.
It could be anything.
Mom's sick, dad's sick, whatever.
Right,
brother,
exactly.
sister.
I think people, and I don't blame people, we're just a little more caught off guard because, like, just all of a sudden, she just wasn't there. There was nothing on. She didn't tweet or she didn't X anything. X out. She didn't put anything on social media, so people were kind of like getting worried. Like, is Kelly okay? But yeah, she's fine. She was back yesterday. But obviously, when you disappear like that on such a
yeah,
and like, I mean, look, we do it for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's numerous people, like, they get in their car to drive home. They expect us to be here. You know what I mean? Friday, they want to hear me battle the FCC, right? Want to hear crazy Bad Choice Friday songs. It's like Thrill and I.
Them today.
Right, Thrill and I grew up listening Fridays to Jeopardy.
Yeah, Jeopardy.
Right? So I just think for Kelly Clarkson, like, she's such an important part of people's, because she's got a midday show.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's probably part of your routine. Like, all right, I watch Kelly, then I go pick up the kids.
Then I watch Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore's got to stop touching people, man. She's way too touchy-feely.
Well, a lot of those Hollywood types, too, not quite germaphobes, they just don't like being handled. And she just can't help herself. Like, by the end of an interview, she might be sitting on your lap.
Like Martha Stewart was like, get off me.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Martha doesn't have around, man.
No.
Sometimes, too, some people are just very, I don't know. Like, something bad happens, and it's like, all right, you're very comforting, but, like, I don't know you like that.
Yeah. Right.
Just back off, dude.
Right? Like, love you, bro. But...
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the biggest stars in the world. Who do you think Leo was starstruck to meet years ago? He's worked with a lot of actors.
How many years we talking here? Do we know? Because, he's met a lot of people throughout his career, so I can't imagine how long this was.
This has got to be 15, 20 years ago, I think.
Is it someone like Elmo?
Now, you remember Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, I remember the name.
Brad Pitt?
Not Brad Pitt. Mike, you're not going to get this because
all right.
You didn't watch this guy's big show. It was on Thursday nights. I watched it.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Not a bad call. Teenage drama. They're in high school, but at nighttime.
The show, they're in high school
Like Friday Night
at
Lights?
night?
So there's two big shows to me as a high school show, right? You had Saved by the
90210.
Bell, but Saved by the Bell was on during the day. That was a little more like,
So 90210.
90210. Thank you, Thrill. That's exactly
hang on. Is it the guy that died?
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, yeah.
Yeah. And a new documentary called I Am Luke Perry. Leo says, I remember being in my teens. He was the manifestation of the new James Dean on television, and everyone was crazy about him. And he's just like, look, by the time I met him, he's like, I was starstruck. Like, he was, and then he adds in too. He's like, that guy was awesome.
That's what everyone's like. He played this character because he always talked like this. He's a bad boy, and it's like, dude, he was the nicest man that has ever lived on this planet.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like, right, I watched both those shows, and like Saved by the Bell was always a little cheesier. Again, it was Saturday morning.
Of course.
Whereas like 90210,
drama.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, but it was more realistic, right? Like, people are having sex in high school, right? People are getting involved, unfortunately, with drugs in high school and all this kind of stuff. So it had like a harder edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was famous probably when he met him. I mean, think about like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and I mean, he started out pretty young.
Sure, but I think
he was a star when he met him.
Yeah, but I think Leo was still young enough that he's already looking up to Luke Perry. God, Luke
Apparently,
Perry.
when he passed away, man, nobody said anything other than the nicest stuff about that guy.
Well, and I think that happens too, especially when you meet somebody, even within your industry, right? Like, I don't know. We've met a lot of famous people, but like years ago in Baltimore, me and Throw were at an event, and there was this guy there named Albie D. Now, Albie D was a famous DJ in D.C. on PGC, right? I was beyond starstruck, just like, holy S.
The first time I met Don Gerardo.
How you doing, Albie D? He's that guy. I mean, he was always just like happy in the mood, like, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but he was the man. Yeah, exactly, right? You meet Don and Mike, any of those guys, like people in your industry where
but
it's like.
that meant more to me than meeting any of the big ass stars that we met. You know, John Cena, Zach Wilde, Ozzy Osbourne. That very significant, no doubt. But meeting Don and Mike, I'm like, yeah, this is my juice, man.
Yeah, it's like our buddy Barnesy, right? Like, he works over the sports station. And he'll tell me, he goes, sometimes it still shocks me. I'm just like, yeah, Brock Hewitt is my coworker.
Right. That was that
is a little crazy.
A couple times when we were in Baltimore and Don and Mike did their show from our studio. You're just wrapping up your show, and they're kind of coming in to do their thing.
And it was nuts.
And you're looking at them, and you're like, all right, this is weird. And then when we were here, when we were working on the Buzz, Tom Likas used to come to Seattle and do his show from
once a
our
month,
studio.
once every couple of months.
He walked in, same thing, like, wow. There's big time money right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, that might have been one of the smartest people I ever met in my life.
I like how he did the show.
He just read the newspaper and drank wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, most like that's what I'm saying. And he would turn his mic off, have a conversation with you, and then pop back on.
Yeah, he'd be like that.
I mean, he was unreal. That not only that, like I swear to God, he had a photographic memory. As we met him, and then the next time I saw him, like, he just came in the room, was like, Dad, and just like, you know, like, from Maryland. I was like, how does he remember that?
Like a caller talking to
Got to turn your mic on.
No, we're talking to each other. All right, Timmy.
Yeah.
The mic off, keep on talking to you.
That was brilliant, because what he would do, he would just put two callers on that are arguing. So these people are screaming at each other on his show, and honest to God, you fellas want to have a sip of red wine. He's talking to us now. Keep in mind, his show's going on, the callers are screaming, and then like every 30 seconds, he would turn around, turn on his mic, and just go, yeah. And then turn right back around and start drinking wine again.
Never get married when you're 21, okay. He's talking to somebody else. All righty.
He was, yeah. All right, let's see. We got a big weekend coming up, TV-wise and party-wise. First of all, hope to see people up at Stanwood tomorrow.
Yeah.
11 a.m. sharp is the Stanwood smallest St. Patrick's Day parade.
Shortest.
Shortest.
No small people are allowed.
Damn. What about the leprechauns?
Well,
they got to be tall leprechauns.
We should have
switching it up this year.
Yeah. Here's just what I'm telling people is, honestly, it is short. No, small. Is it short or small? Shortest.
Yes.
All right.
It is the shortest St. Patty's Day parade.
Get there on time.
You're going to miss it.
All right, you're going to miss it, and it's a busy day. If you would, how should I phrase this? If you'd like to see people and say hi to them for the radio, get there on time for the damn parade. Let's see, but a lot of other stuff going on. Also, I say this every time you have a big holiday, and I'm really excited. Just be careful this weekend, right? Use your Ubers. Somebody's your DD. Make them stick to it.
What do you think Uber price is going to be like this weekend? Like, rush hour, the price goes up. Middle of the day.
They surge them.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be a super surge.
You just got to go a block outside of that place. I figured this out.
What do you mean? So if I walk half a block away from the address of the bar and say, oh, no, I'm
so
down
for
here.
example, anytime there's a concert at Climate Pledge, my Uber goes to the 5 Point.
Ah, okay.
I'm only to walk a couple blocks, tap price.
Yeah, that's different, though. Like, when it's surge pricing, like on New Year's Eve, it doesn't matter.
We're not matter.
Let's see. You got a lot of basketball on. You got conference tournaments. Some teams like Maryland advancing, which is good to see. So that'll be on all weekend. Don't forget, Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m., you'll have the selection show, which is always fun to see teams on the bubbles or where your team's going to end.
Just their celebration.
Correct, or where your team's going to end up. What else we got going on? Saturday Night Live host, Kid Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Gracie Adams is the musical guest. I don't think I know her.
I don't even know.
So Kid Rock is not. He's the host. He's not.
Chris Rock.
Oh, Chris Rock.
I thought you said Kid Rock.
Did I say Kid Rock?
You did say Kid Rock.
Jesus, no. Chris Rock.
That's what I was kind of like.
A comedian.
Okay, Chris Rock, yes.
Alrighty then.
My bad. That's, yeah.
Much different.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against Kid Rock. I don't need to see him host SNL. Yeah. All right, so you got sorry. Chris Rock. I just think it's awesome Chris Rock is back and hosting it.
Yeah.
Remember, for years there was beef there. He didn't want to go back on the show. I mentioned it earlier, though. Sunday will be a lot of conference championships. You have the selection show if you want to watch that. Also, Saturday night, if you're a Formula 1 fan.
Formula 1.
The racing is back, and that's in Australia, down in Melbourne.
Hello, mate.
So that's a 9 p.m. start time, or technically 8:55, whatever. So check that out. That'll be fun to watch. Also, you got brand new episodes Sunday of White Lotus, Yellow Jackets, third season premiere of Dark Winds.
Is everything a color?
Yeah.
Dark Winds, Yellow Jackets,
blue
White
sky,
Lotus, yeah.
Purple Days.
Then you can end Sunday night with a brand new episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. But other than that, hopefully we'll see you in Stanwood tomorrow, and enjoy the holiday weekend.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to China, where restaurant customers all order the number one. Meanwhile, a Florida man goes to jail for not paying for the lap dance and the fun. To Boston, where kids steal a kitten from an auto body shop. While at a school, your bag of meth you should not drop. And to the Bronx, where you should never park in front of a fire hydrant. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
At our top story, we're going to New York, where one driver had to be that guy. While the direct cause is not known, officials got a call about a fire at a local deli that eventually blew up into a 5-alarm fire. Several crews descended upon the area and did their best to put out the blaze. They ended up having to use fire extinguishers to the best of their ability to get it put out. But it came at some professional casualties. While nobody was injured, several businesses, including the deli, an optical center, a pharmacy, and several restaurants, were all lost in the fire. But the reason this is causing some face palms from readers is the fact that all of the efforts of the fire crews were hindered by one individual, one driver, that parked his car right in front of a fire hydrant.
Tell me they at least broke his windows to get the hose through.
I've seen that photo, and I applaud that photo, but no, that is not what they did here. As we said, nobody was injured in the fire, and the cause is not known, but they used this as an opportunity to remind the public that while the inconvenience of needing a fire hydrant may not be visible at any given point, it really has an effect on when it is needed, and you're blocking the way. The FDNY has issued a summons for the driver. So, no, they didn't bust his window, but they took down his license
Sounds to me
plate.
like it might have been like a delivery box truck or something that they could not bust through the window at the... You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about that earlier today.
Gotcha.
Exactly what you're saying. Because that's what they'll do.
Right.
They'll bust both windows out, run the hose through.
You bet.
But if
the car will get water.
But if you can't do that, and I was thinking, is it a van, delivery van, or like an Amazon van, or, something that... They just pulled in real quick and didn't realize the place was on fire.
Some big truck that they couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
Just at the end of the day, just don't park in front of a fire hydrant. Like,
Right.
I get it.
This is not news.
Right. It's the only gap that you have the ability to park in. Yeah. But it's there and open for a reason, dude.
And most people don't.
Right.
I give people credit on that.
Right.
Typically, they don't park in front of the fire.
They don't put it there because that building always catches fire. It's because it at one point could. Just don't be that guy. In other news, to China, where a couple teenagers had to ruin a good time for everybody else. A video went viral that showed the two drunk inside of the local branch of a hot pot chain. They were 17 years old. This seems like some sort of a fondue thing, or they cook the meat right there.
Yeah, it's like the
table.
boiling pot. You put your stuff in there, it cooks it.
Yeah.
But they have a big tub of the broth in the back that they use for all of the soup.
Correct. In the privacy of their own room in the restaurant, the drunken duo decided to pull a stupid stunt and urinated into the broth pot in their table.
Come on, man.
They filmed the doggone thing, which, thank you. At least now we know that you did it.
That is good that they did that.
But the restaurant has since apologized to all the other customers since the video went viral and has dealt out compensation to more than 4,000 patrons that ate at the establishment, though it is believed that they did not consume any of the tainted broth.
Okay.
The teenagers were arrested following the event. They did close down the shop to clean out the pots, but they admitted that they didn't have any kind of protocol for this situation because they couldn't exactly predict it was going to happen.
You don't think you need a protocol. What happens if our employees pee in our soup?
Right.
It's just,
And again, don't be that guy. This seems to be the theme of the news tonight is just don't be that guy.
Right.
And I've never gotten so drunk before that was like, I'm just going to pee in the table. Like,
come on.
You haven't lived.
I guess, Ted. To Florida, where a man stole from a local gentleman's club. We toasted this man earlier today. He stumbled in around 1 in the morning and enjoyed himself by accepting several lap dances from the fine young ladies working that evening. But when presented with the $160 tab that he owed for their entertainment, side note, $160, all right. He informed staff that he didn't have the ability to pay. This led to police being called, and he was arrested for stealing lap dances, which they called a product, not a service. He spent 12 days in jail and has been ordered to stay away from the establishment. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Cash up front, buddy.
That should have been the thing.
I would think that. If you're going to go back in there, you best have $200 cash, and then we're going to take our $160 back, and then we'll see you next time. But just in case those stories have just a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
There's a wonderful story online of how two worlds collide. This is a cute one. A woman living down in Portland went to the local rescue shelter and adopted a sweet dog from the nonprofit that has a little bit of a complicated life. She's got an autoimmune disorder that ultimately cost her one of her eyes, but never lost her love of life. Sticking with the charitable habits towards animals, the woman also looked into fostering animals that were displaced following the devastating LA wildfires, and that's when she found an orange cat by the name of, what do you think? Name it an orange cat. What is she going to
Garfield.
Crush.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Crush. She brought him in and went through the proper protocol of getting him integrated into the home. If you don't know, this is something that took me by surprise, but when you're introducing animals, especially cats, into an environment with another animal into it, you got to basically lock them up into a different room for like a week. So you allow those smells to kind of waft in there, and then they're able to... Or you can just deal with the hissing that's going to happen, just slam them all together there. But keeping them separate from the dog, Nellie is the name of the dog there.
Nellie.
But all signs pointed to not needing to go through the trouble at all, as the two of them showed immediate interest in one another, sticking right next to the door. Nellie wanted in, immediately wanted to go meet the new friend there. But after she let them meet, they become inseparable. The two absolutely love each other. They play on the regular, they're finding their boundaries. Nellie can sometimes forget her size, and she's batting the cat, whereas Crush can play with tail and ears, which, pisses off Nellie from time to time. But I like when those two animals come together, especially two animals that are from kind of a hardship life. These are animals right up Miles Montgomery's.
Nellie. The one cat's from a bad neighborhood in St. Louis.
That's right.
Where's Tim's?
Oh, Lordy. Men's Room Sports brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. More NFL free agent signings for your Seattle Seahawks. It was announced earlier this afternoon that former Super Bowl MVP and division rival Yakima's own Cooper Kupp has reached an agreement with the Seahawks. Sam Darnold now has JSN, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Cooper Kupp downfield to give him options.
I wish we had video of Mike learning the news as we're on the air.
Yeah.
They just turned the monitor, right? Pretty sure you mouth "let's effing go."
That's
you definitely
go.
You definitely had the flex.
Did the whole flex.
Something very good has happened for the Seahawks.
Well, and Ted had mentioned earlier today, he was like, "Oh shoot, the Seahawks might actually get that done." I was like, "All right, I'm waiting on it." Then he waved me over, and somebody already doctored up in the uniform.
Yeah, like last week when the Rams were like, "We're not going to re-sign him," I was like, if they release him, we gotta
scoop him up, man. Hell yeah. As far as we're going to watch over the weekend, you got NBA basketball, college tournament basketball, spring training baseball, Major League Rugby featuring your Seattle Seawolves, MLS soccer featuring your Seattle Sounders, and NHL hockey featuring the Seattle Kraken. Find out where to watch all those games and when to watch those games in one convenient location. We call it the Sports on What app. As far as your weather over the weekend, we got on and off showers all weekend long, with the highs topping out right at 50 and the lows coming down to 39, 40 degrees. Lock in, folks. The showers are expected to be here for the foreseeable future. But that is it for your headlines. With that, have a great weekend. We'll see you in Stanwood. Mike Hawkins.
11 a.m. in a Stanwood shortest St. Patty's Day parade with the Daily Mix Morning Show. Hopefully, we will see you tomorrow morning. The lovely Jolene is up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until Monday, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.